It's amazing how great your home looks with new Carpenter flooring, especially when you get an amazing value from a company you trust. That's why you should call Sears Flooring. With Sears Flooring, you'll save 20% right now. Just call 1-888-491-3939, and Sears Flooring will bring the showroom to you. Sears has a wide range of carpet, tile, hardwood, or laminate to match your style and budget. Your new flooring will be precisely installed, and your satisfaction is guaranteed. So call Sears Flooring for a free in-home consultation. You'll save 20%. Call 1-888-491-3939. Hurry, offer ends soon. Not available in all areas. Installation provided by Sears authorized licensed contractors. License information available upon request. Call Sears Flooring now and save 20%. Call 1-888-491-3939. 1-888-491-3939. Sears.
Blog Talk Radio.
Huh? It's there. It's just buzzing a little bit. It's happening. We got our thumbs up. And we're about to get sued. Should we fade it out? We fade it out. All right. Lawyers are calling. Lawyers are tweeting. Are we getting the lawyer tweets?
You're going to start in a second. Turn it on.
Okay, fine. We'll stop the introduction music. All right, Sunday night, 7 o'clock. Frank the Unicorn Radio program live. Frank and Beans.
Howdy.
Howdy. It's Sunday night. We have a whole new month. It's now November. We just did 5 October, Shocktober horror-themed shows.
I'm sad they're over.
And I'm sad they're over too, but you know it's time to move on now. We've all
move on.
We've spent.
Sharktopus is on the Sci-Fi Channel right now.
It's on. It actually comes on at 9 o'clock as soon as we go off the air. And because I try to do anything I can to support Eric Roberts, the Coca-Cola Kid, I'm going to.
He is the best of the best.
He's a runaway train.
He is.
So I'm going to go and all Eric Roberts movies for those who don't know. We just mentioned in titles. But so I'm going to support him by watching Sharktopus.
As you should.
We all should. How could you not?
How could you not?
It's on after our show. You might as well see it.
That's right.
It's on Sci-Fi. You know that's quality.
You know that's quality.
All right. So actually, I guess you could almost call the sci-fi movies spoof movies, which kind of ties into our theme. So we're doing a spoof movie theme this week.
Are you saying you don't take Sharktopus seriously?
I do not take Sharktopus seriously.
You should.
No. This would make me probably a willing victim. Good target for the Sharktopus because I don't really believe that it could exist. It could I guess it would grab me with its tentacles first, pull me toward its large gaping maw,
and then eat you with its large gaping maw. Yeah.
You know what would be even cooler? A Sharktopus that was a shark, but instead of being the obvious mix of a shark and an octopus and having tentacles, instead it would have the ink and the beak of the octopus, just the head with the beak and the ink, but without all the tentacles, and then just the rest of it is a shark. That would be more terrifying.
I don't think that would.
Because it would be much more unexpected. It would just be this bulbous head fish with a beak. It could get you with the beak.
But it's not going to.
It's the Sharktopus. It could do anything it wants.
Let's move on.
It's the Steven Seagal of underwater monsters. You just can't. You don't know how to contend with it. All right. We have.
It's overweight and has a bad hairline.
And it wears a muumuu. That's right. It makes questionable films. Okay. And constantly talks about its team and using martial arts.
That's right.
If you were a Sharktopus, you would want to do martial arts because you'd want to take advantage of having the tentacles.
You would.
All right. Good way to disable your opponents. Well, you got to be careful in that ocean. There's mega shark and giant octopus are also out there fighting it out.
That's true.
You've got the weaknesses of
You never know when those deep blue sea sharks are going to show up.
That's true. They're genetically modified as well. They killed Saffron Burrows and Samuel L. Jackson.
Did they kill Saffron Burrows? I thought she was the
Did she survive?
Girl in that movie.
No. Okay. Maybe
I don't remember.
Maybe she lived. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Samuel got killed.
You sure did.
But see, the problem with this is that as Sharktopus, you have the advantages of the giant shark and the mega octopus, but at the same time, you also have the weaknesses of each. And they're aware of it, although you don't have to contend with Lorenzo Lamas or Debbie Gibson, which is a good thing.
The length of this conversation is officially way out of proportion with my interest in it.
It really is. We just went off for like 4 minutes on Sharktopus, but you brought it up. It's your fault. Okay, so joining us, that's the impressive part to me of an octopus. That's the most terrifying part. That's the part that it actually kills you with.
The arms do nothing for you.
The arms are scary.
The very name, Octo, 8 arms. That's the whole thing. That's its whole deal.
But wouldn't it be more scary if it were called Octobeak?
No.
It would be. It would have eight beaks. That would be even more intimidating.
The only thing I'm scared of right now is you.
Okay. That's good. All right. So I'm going to turn into a Sharktopus myself after the show. What are you rooting for the Sharktopus, or are you rooting for Eric Roberts?
Who's rooting for Eric Roberts?
I don't think anyone.
No.
But I don't think his best of the best martial arts skills will help him in this one.
No, he needs to agree to show up.
Okay. So we have in studio guests.
We do.
Who now feel that they may have taken some second place to Sharktopus, and I apologize for that. But we've got the Cookie Maven is here. She brought a bunch of cookies with her, and we were eating those before the show.
If y'all can't understand me during the show, because I'm stuffing my gaping maw with cookies.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of Sharktopusing on the cookies, but we're going to, anyway, it doesn't matter. We're going to eat them. We're going to eat the cookies. That's the whole point.
Dear God, I hope that's what that meant.
All right. Anyway, so we also have, this is a first for us. We have, we do the local music segment. Now we have in-studio music guests.
That is awesome.
That's never happened before. This is really cool. We've got Josh and Joey with us. The Smash Brothers are with us. Yeah. So you guys, I apologize for this is kind of how it goes on the show. We start talking about a certain thing. I was going to do the recap, talk about what we're going to talk about on the show, just kind of give people a little introduction to it. Instead, no, that's over. We're just going right for it, and we get involved in the Sharktopus stuff. That's kind of how it goes. But you guys, if you have feelings on Sharktopus or Mega Shark or Giant Octopus, or is it Mega Octopus and Giant Shark?
I have no idea.
Or is it It's Mega Shark and Giant Octopus.
I tried to leave this conversation behind like 3 minutes ago.
I will not let you. I'm going to handcuff you to it because you started it.
If we had sponsors, we'd be at commercial break right now, just so I could beat this out of you.
Okay. Anyway, so we're happy to have you guys with us as well.
Thanks. We appreciate it.
All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to give out the outline basically first, like we normally do, and we're going to get away from Mega Shark and Giant Octopus. Or, yeah, Mega Shark and Giant Octopus.
Oh, my God. Just move on.
All right, anyway, so moving on. We're going to do, obviously, we've got our segment on what we're watching. We're talking about spoof movies today. We've got a Beans list, which, again, spoof movie related, and we've got different levels of spoof movie because there's when you just say spoof movie, especially recently, people think of a specific type, and of really bad, really crappy, sort of lazy spoof movie. We're going to go a little beyond that on this list because we have some that are actually you wouldn't necessarily consider spoof movies, but that's what makes them partially so great, is that they really stand out. We had a lot of discussion earlier about what is a spoof.
We did, and we will get to that. What else do we have on the outline?
You really want us to move on here. Okay, so we've got that, and that's the Beans list. We've got an all-new How Unicorn Are You? This is a really good one, and there's going to be...
You say that every week.
I know, and every week it's great, and hopefully we're going to have some good user participation because we have giveaways as well.
I do enjoy giveaways.
Yes, we have film tickets.
I am not giving away my cookies.
No, we're not giving away cookies. Those are for us.
Off my cookies.
That's right. Although we'll have plenty of discussion about the cookies and how you can get your hands on some of the cookies if you choose.
But not mine.
But not yours, not the Beans cookies. But we've got film tickets today. We've got tickets to the movie Burlesque. It's a sneak preview at Cinemark, which is the giant, huge airport road, the Palace, right. Thursday, November 18th, 7:30 p.m. This is before the movie even opens. We have special passes for our Frank the Unicorn listeners provided to us by South Florida Social Geeks. So we're going to give those away based on the call-ins we get, based on what we're talking about with what we're watching and the Beans list and all that kind of stuff. And the How Unicorn Are You? Right, and the tweets, but you have to call to win the tickets. See, we're going to make it a little tougher because we get a ton of tweets on the show. We don't get as many calls as we'd like. We expect we may get one from an angry person.
I hope we do.
I hope we do
too. If you're angry, call us.
Well, there's a whole specific reason. There's a whole specific reason I don't want to get into. We'll if it comes up, we'll talk about it. But and then we've got our local music segment. We're actually going to play a couple of songs. I think you guys may even do some in-studio stuff for us, which would be really cool.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And then we've got our This Week in Bacon segment. We've got some. There's one specific company that's sort of on the leading edge of this whole bacon movement and doing these various bacon products.
There's a bacon movement?
There's indeed a bacon movement.
That sounds like something you might have to visit your doctor about.
Yeah, okay. But so these are two products that are they're on the opposite end of the spectrum. One is great, one is horrible. They're made by the same company. We're going to talk about it. And then the famous actor
sponsorship, you just call one of their things horrible.
They're not sponsoring us, believe me. And trust me, I'm not the only one that's saying it's horrible. When the headline, when you bring up this product, the headline says that it causes people to vomit and retch, pretty much says it all.
Sounds delicious.
Doesn't it?
I like the sound effects, too.
Yeah. We've got a Foley artist in the...
We do.
Providing Foley sounds. Okay. And then we've got the famous actor you recognize but don't know, and this week it's going to be Leslie Neilsen because...
Who I'm pretty sure people know.
Yes, but...
Who doesn't know Leslie
Neilsen? Right, but there's been a lot of things that Leslie Neilsen did earlier in his career, and a lot of specific types of, and things he's done in movies that are quite shocking when you find that Leslie... That's right, the heavy, as he calls it. He likes to refer to those roles as his heavy roles.
Oh, I only know Naked Gun.
See, well, that's the thing. Yeah, that's why I wanted to put him in, because...
Was he in Airplane, though?
Yeah, he was also in Airplane. Yeah, he's definitely... He's been called the Laurence Olivier of spoof movies, which I would definitely agree with, and he's hilarious. And he's Canadian, which is yeah. I had a whole thing I wrote about Canadians, actually.
I got a funny Canadian joke. It goes like this. How does a Canadian spell Canada?
Oh, boy.
C-A-N-A-D-A.
Thank you.
Awesome. That
which actually
leads perfectly into that joke, which is that
your god-awful Canadian joke, which is...
the entire country is a bunch of uncool Fonzies. Everyone up there saying A all the time. Kind of lame. Anyway, Fonzie was pretty close to Canada. He was almost Canadian because he was the coolest guy in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
That's true.
In 1955. That's not that cool. Retrospectively, Winkler is not as badass as that leather jacket and motorcycle would have led you to believe.
No, he's not.
We found that out the hard way when he jumped that shark, but I think we knew it. He was always getting muscled by Pinky Tuscadero. You know what you're longing for right now?
Getting muscled by Pinky Tuscadero?
Mega Shark. You're wanting the Sharktopus right now. I know it. All right. 347-326-97.
Make it go away, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, tweet us. Do something.
Stop talking about Shark.
347-326-9700.
Deep in your tonsils.
Of course.
Our fan is telling you not to do this anymore.
Yeah. Well, all right. So you can reach us. You can reach us on Twitter at Frank the Unicorn. You can also reach us on the Frank line, 347-326-9700. Yeah, whatever. And we've got...
Whoa. The Frank line?
Frank line.
Is that like the bat phone?
On the horn. You can reach us on the horn. Is that better?
I just don't want to see your bat holes. But yeah.
Okay, all right. 347-326-9700. That's fine. You know, that in this scenario, that would make you Robin.
I got the elf boots.
Worse, it would, you know what, worse, as of the last film before the last two good ones, the last crappy film, that would make me Clooney and you Chris O'Donnell.
Holy rusted metal, Pat.
Yeah.
Chris O'Donnell was really hot. Not so much anymore.
I can't even believe you said that on the air. You admitted to that publicly? Chris O'Donnell, really?
What? The ladies enjoyed the Chris O'Donnell.
Really? How did that happen?
I don't know.
There was a serious void of mid-90s. There was an obvious serious void of mid-90s leading men.
What happened to Chris O'Donnell?
Exactly.
I haven't seen him since then, actually.
You know what happened to him? He played Robin, dude. That's what happened to him. He played Robin in the worst superhero movie ever made. Ever. Batman and Robin is the worst superhero. We all can agree with that. It's the worst superhero movie ever made. It's worse than Condor Man. It's terrible.
After seeing Wolverine, I don't know if I can really agree with that.
It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. It's unforgivably bad. There's no way. Oh, he's on NCIS now.
Oh, NCIS Los Angeles.
Yeah, he's been on Grey's Anatomy.
See, I don't watch that show, so that's why I don't know.
Yeah.
No, he was LL Cool J.
I had no idea who was still alive.
Street cred.
And you know what?
It
comes in handy to hang out with LL Cool J, just in case of
the giant sharks from Deep Blue Sea.
That's correct. See how we tie it all in there?
Yes.
See how we do that? We wrap it in a nice package. Everybody loves it. I mean, I don't understand. Are we really getting that many negative shark tweets?
Negative
shark tweets. Hashtag shark tweets.
I'm pretty sure the Discovery Channel got that trademarked.
I don't know if they do. 347-326-9700 or twitter.com @FrankTheUnicorn. So I guess we've done enough talking about sharks. So let's talk about what we're watching, the spoof movie edition.
Yes, let's.
Okay. So obviously the first thing when we started talking about spoof movies, everybody identified immediately Naked Gun.
See, for me, Airplane comes first.
Airplane comes first.
All right. That's the first one that pops in my head when I think about spoof movies.
Airplane, Naked Gun, Top Secret.
For me, I'm thinking of Scary Movie, or not Scary Movie. Scary Movie.
Scary Movie.
Scary Movie, exactly.
Okay.
Not another teen movie is hilarious.
That's very true.
That's really funny.
What about John Waters movies? Like, would you consider those really spoofish? I think Serial Mom is kind of on the satire spoof.
Serial Mom.
I would say Serial Mom. Serial Mom is one of my favorite movies. I love John Waters. I don't know that. I think John Waters may be just more subversive than really spoof.
Yeah, because he's not really going against anything that's already there. I mean, maybe with like Hairspray or something like that.
I mean, but again, it's really more. His movies really have more of an anti-establishment feel. Like, John Waters always said that.
Poop.
Well, that was just it. John Waters always said that his favorite thing that he did was he felt like he played the best joke ever on everyone, which is he got them to go into a theater, pick up a card that had different horrible smells on it, and convince people to pay for the privilege of sitting in a theater for 2 hours, watching a crappy movie and scratching a little card and smelling poop and vomit and blood and whatever, motor oil and stuff. I mean, there's no denying that John Waters. I mean, yeah, his movies are great. I don't know if I would classify them for what we're talking about as spoof movies. They're kind of in their own genre because no one really makes movies like.
And I just got to give him props for being in Seed of Chucky.
Seed of Chucky, yes.
When he was the evil paparazzo.
Well, he's the only director in Hollywood that could convince Melanie Griffith to set her hair on fire at the end of a film.
Hey, what about this one, Frank? Austin Powers. That's a spoof on Bond.
I think that's a great point, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Very funny movie.
Definitely the Austin Powers series, and actually there's even films before that which they borrowed very heavily from the Flint movies, Our Man Flint and In Like Flint with James Coburn, which were late 60s, early 70s, sort of Austin Powers spoof movies, a little more serious.
Yeah, like the Matt Helm movies too with Dean Martin.
Mm-hmm.
It was the same thing.
Yeah, and in the Flint movies, he had the cigarette lighter that did like every ridiculous thing that there was no possible physical way that it could actually contain the technology to do the things it was doing, and yet it did, and got him out of everything.
I'm not pretty sure my phone can do all that now, so why not his lighter?
Well, but remember, this is late 60s Bic era lighter.
But he's got spy tech. Q can do that stuff.
True.
He gave James Bond exploding toothpaste. He can't come up with a lighter that can do stuff?
My favorite was the boom box that was actually a missile launcher.
The Ghetto Blaster?
The Ghetto Blaster,
I love that, yeah.
And of course we have no Q now because Desmond Llewelyn.
You killed him.
Well, I didn't, but
you did. You killed Q.
But frighteningly enough,
he killed Q.
The actor that played Q, unfortunately, I mean, he was well into his 80s or 90s.
He was in his 90s.
92
or something.
Right,
like
and
that.
died in a car accident of all things.
We went to see what was his last one? The World Is Not Enough.
I believe that is correct.
And we saw the movie, and you said to me, when is that guy going to die? He just looked, he did not look good. He looked frail. And you said, when is he going to die? Quite literally, the next day, there was an article in the paper that he had been killed in a car crash. Frank murdered Q, everybody. That's why there's no Q in the new James Bond movie.
And he walked like OJ.
That's right.
That's okay.
Well, if that's the case, when is O.J. Simpson going to die?
Good question.
When is O.J. Simpson? What's going to happen? What happened with Brett? Where is Brett Leonard? When is Brett Leonard going to expire? Brett Leonard is still alive, and we don't know.
And unfortunately, probably still making movies.
With O.J. Simpson, no less. All right. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't wish death on anyone. I shouldn't use my unicorn powers of selective life.
You really just said that, didn't you?
I did.
Selective termination.
There's this window
That's
open
right.
because I'm going to crawl
You're going to crawl out that window? You'd have to push the autographed photo of Christopher Walken out of the way. And of course,
I'll take that with me.
it's Walken as a headless horseman. Of course, in that photo, he has a head.
Yes.
So, all right.
How could you tell?
Right. That Walken in a spoof movie would be pretty funny. It would be pretty good.
But what about, Zoolander's not a spoof movie, but he was good in that movie.
Walken wasn't in Zoolander.
Yeah, what?
No,
Yeah, he
that
was.
was Will Ferrell as Mugatu.
No, he
played
was
the father
Yeah.
of Zoolander.
No,
No,
that was John Voight. That was crazy John Voight.
Same.
They look very similar.
Christopher Walken was the father in Blast from the Past.
Right.
The one with
Brendan Fraser and Alicia Silverstone and Paul Giamatti.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah. He played the crazy guy that owned the bar that the place that the shelter was built under. And when he came up in the elevator, he came up in the middle of this guy's bar, and he started the cult worshiping the family coming up from the underneath the ground.
Literally
Underneath the
haven't seen that
establishment.
movie since it was in theaters, so I don't remember.
You're probably not missing much. Dave Foley was also in that movie.
I remember Dave Foley being in it.
Yeah. All right. We've gone way off of spoof, but okay. So
But have we ever stuck to what we were talking about?
we never do. It's a recurring theme that we don't. Top Secret, I think, is another one of the spoof movies. Is a great movie that gets overlooked a lot.
Yeah. With a great soundtrack. I love the spoof songs, the Beach Boys stuff that they do with Val Kilmer doing his own singing. Back when he was funny.
Val Kilmer. He's still funny now, just for a whole different reason.
Yeah, it's a different kind of funny now.
He looks like Val Kilmer wearing a fat suit. It's really weird.
Oh, that's a shame.
It's true, though. It's really, really weird. It's like the same thing. We always joke around, when did Peter Gabriel turn into Dr. Evil? When did Val Kilmer turn into a parody of Val Kilmer?
Probably somewhere around the island of Dr. Moreau.
You know what it is? He was hanging out with Paula Cole. You remember Paula Cole?
Vaguely.
Yeah, you should see her now. Again, looks like someone. It looks like someone stuck a hose into her and inflated her, like in a cartoon. That's what it looks like. Cartoon fat version of herself.
Honestly, Paula Cole could walk in this room right now. I would have no idea who I'm looking at.
No?
No.
Even if she started singing the Dawson's Creek theme?
Then maybe. Okay.
But yeah, Val Kilmer looks like the same thing. Looks like someone inflated him to me. Just bizarre. I don't know. He just spread. It's weird. Like the Blob. All right. Scary Movie. Now I think
enough to keep MacGruber afloat.
no. Now I think Scary Movie is a double-edged sword, because Scary Movie in and of, you guys brought it up. I think you made a good one with that, because Scary Movie is a double-edged sword. It really is. Because on the one hand, it's a very apt, very funny, direct, good parody movie, solid parody movie of horror films, and especially of post-Scream, types of horror movies.
Right.
Okay? Because, Scream sort of redefined the genre, the slasher killer genre, from what we grew up used to with Freddy and Jason and the silent killer at the camp, and
where the girl's always running up the stairs instead of out the door when the killer's in the house. Right?
Exactly. And so Scream kind of rewrote those rules by poking fun at them, kind of changing it up a little bit. Obviously big hit, big franchise hit. There's a new one coming out, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Right. So Scary Movie was very appropriate for that time and made a lot of references to other older horror movies, very funny ones, and a lot of the references to, you're running out the door when you should, you're running up the stairs when you should be running out the door. You're picking up the machete when you should be picking up the shotgun, or the car keys to get in the car and drive the fuck away.
Right.
Okay? But at the same time, because that's why it's a double-edged sword, is because at the same time, its commercial success, because it had been so long since there had been sort of a film like that, and that particular genre was so ripe for that parody, it opened the door for all these really bad, lazy, crappy, stupid, aimed at 13-year-old, sophomoric, unintelligent, uncreative,
like
throwaway.
Piranha 3D that just came out a month ago.
Oh, well, no, now, see, that we can't.
You like that, huh?
Them fighting words.
I was referring to, like, Meet the Spartans, right?
Oh, yeah.
State movie.
Yeah, just those kind of films. And just something where, and again, double-edged sword, because you do get, and I mean, even for me, Scary Movie 2 was hilarious. Any film that I get that much David Cross in one film, where David Cross gets that much screen time for me, especially with the weird hair and the whole thing, that to me is worth watching.
What about the Wayans brothers? I mean, they're always funny, man. No matter what Wayans you got, there's like 15 of them.
Yeah, there's 100 Wayans. And there's
another couple Wayans coming around.
Well, and actually, excellent point, because Keenan Ivory Wayans really got his start on a couple of spoof movies, the first of which he co-wrote, or helped, I think he co-wrote, was in with Robert Townsend. He helped Robert Townsend with Hollywood Shuffle. Right, which was a 1987 film, which is a parody of Hollywood, basically, and the experience of being a black actor in Hollywood, and how essentially Robert Townsend, until he made this movie, was trying to be an actor in Hollywood, he and Keenan Ivory Wayans, and the only roles that they could get offered were like Thug Number 2, Pimp, or rapist, or, some terrible criminal role, some degrading, very stereotypical, just horrible, there's a line where he's in and he's reading, and the line that he's reading from the audition is, "Why you gots to be pull a knife on me, I ain't begot no weapon."
That's not stereotypical at all.
I mean, right, and the funny thing is, you got the scene where they're in the waiting room, and there's like 15 or 20 different actors in there, and they're all reading it a different way, why you got to be pull a knife on me? I ain't got no weapon. You know, like just really
Juilliard.
Yeah, like you went to Juilliard, Shakespearean, and then you've got the really like cracked out, you know, Chris Rock sort of.
have no weapon.
Right. Exactly. Do that again,
No.
please.
All right. And Keenan isn't the only Wayans that worked with Robert Townsend in a kind of a spoof movie. I don't know if you remember this one, Blank Man, with Damon Wayans.
Right.
That was so
Right, and Blank Man was actually a pretty funny.
Yeah,
That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I think Damon Wayans is my favorite Wayans out of all the Wayans.
He's-
I've always been a Keenan Ivory guy.
Well, I think they're the two clear.
If only because
Top.
he tried to make Steven Seagal funny with the Glimmer.
I like the Glimmer Man.
So did I.
One of my favorite Seagal lines. I don't want to kill you, and you don't want to be dead. To a kid who's threatening to commit suicide. But it leads in. He made then Keenan's first movie, I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, one of the all-time great spoof movies of blaxploitation. Absolutely hilarious.
What about Don't Be a Menace to South Central while
drinking your juice from the hood?
There you go.
Another good spoof movie.
There you go.
Very funny movie.
About
So-
Fridays too. Friday after next Friday.
I don't know,
Relatable, but.
Yeah, I don't know how you go with those spoof movies, but they are pretty funny.
The
The
first one was hilarious, but I would definitely say, Friday had I wouldn't say it was a spoof movie, but it had the opportunity to be made based on the success of the Wayans brothers doing comedies, because it really opened the door for Hollywood to say, wait, we can release a picture with, you know, primarily an African American audience and everyone will go see it.
Which leads to probably my favorite spoof movie of the last few years, Black Dynamite.
Black Dynamite is fantastic.
Have you guys seen Black Dynamite?
No.
You need to see Black Dynamite. Michael Jai White is so perfect in that movie, and he totally redeems himself for that crappy Spawn movie with that one.
Not his fault.
No, but Black Dynamite's great. Black Dynamite is sort of the blaxploitation version of Machete. It's almost, well, it's not quite that good because it doesn't have Seagal in it, but it's still nothing is as good. All right, favorite spoofs. Deep in Your Tonsils. Now, this is on our Beans list, but not in the way one would expect. He's given us Robin Hood Men in Tights, and Robot Embassy is giving us Spaceballs. These are
things we wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
We were going to go over some Mel Brooks stuff.
We were going to go over some Mel Brooks stuff, and all right, so it may be a little, we're like 4 minutes premature on it, but we can go into that Beans
Well,
list.
you're used to being 4 minutes premature.
Yeah, well, wow.
Did I just say that out loud?
Yeah, you did.
I'm feeling that.
Sure. Yeah, seriously, dude. What are you doing here? You've been purchasing the videos on eBay. All right. So
murder record, so definitely be careful with it.
Yeah. So we've got our Beans list, and we want people's feedback on this. I know I've been lazy about giving out the phone number, 347-326-9700. Remember now, we're giving away tickets. We're giving away tickets
I like that
to.
you're showing the tickets as though there's a camera here.
Well, I'm looking at them for reference.
Letterman style.
I'm looking at them for reference. Everything I attempt to do, Letterman style. Hee hee. All right. That's why I had a tooth removed. Okay. So, although I don't believe, did I say last week that I don't believe that Paul Schaefer and the World's Most Dangerous Band is actually the world's most dangerous band because, well, what with the Pussycat Dolls and the STDs?
Yeah.
No? Okay. All right. It's a joke worth making again. 347-326-9700. We're giving away tickets to an advanced screening of Burlesque, and this is going to be at Cinemark Palace Thursday, November 18th, 7:30 p.m. Can meet Frank and Beans because we'll be there. We'll be there watching this.
That place sounds so much fancier than it is.
It does.
Cinemark
Palace. It's a Palace theater. All right. We really shouldn't make fun of the venue.
That movie called?
I don't make fun of the venue.
Yeah, well, it used to be. It used to be. It's the one next to Boomers. It used to. Yeah.
You know the economy's bad when Movie Co goes out of business.
That's true. And it's Cher and Steve and Christina Aguilera. Eric Dane. Wow, isn't he?
I don't know who that is.
I think that's for the ladies. Isn't that McSteamy? Isn't that guy from Grey's Anatomy or whatever? Eric Dane, wasn't he?
Yeah, don't worry.
Is that right? No.
I think so. He had a nice time.
Alan Cumming and Peter Gallagher for the ladies.
You know, I'm sorry, Alan Cumming is one of the best actors.
I agree.
So funny.
Well, you can't have a movie called Burlesque without Alan Cumming in it.
Yeah.
Or somebody coming in it. I mean, someone's got to come in the movie.
Thank you for taking thank you for taking the bait. Okay. Also, yes, Deep in Your Tonsils, Kentucky Fried Movie. Yes, we're going to talk about Kentucky Fried Movie. But real quick, so we're giving away these tickets, 347-326-9700. You're going to have to call in order to win these tickets, and we're going to want your participation in the next two segments on this. It's going to be the Beans list, and then we're going to do the How Unicorn Are You segment. But first, we're going to do the Beans list. Great spoof movies, okay? And I'm throwing this out because we've already started kind of bringing some of these in, and also the tweets are giving us.
Yeah.
And
Kentucky Fried Movie is definitely one. That's
yes.
a terrific movie.
Twitter.com at Frank Unicorn, by the way. And yes, Kentucky Fried Movie's on this list. Not a movie a lot of people even remember or know about. It's a 70s vignette style.
It's a sketch comedy. It's basically a Saturday Night Live movie almost.
Pretty much.
Not that it has no cast or anything, but it's just.
It has these random vignettes, and they range anywhere in time length from like 30 seconds to a good 30 minutes at the last one at the end. Fistful of Yen, yeah. And they're these random parodies of all things really 70s, actually. When you look back at it now, it's got a very 70s feel to it. And I remember when I was a kid, when we were, it was really when video stores were the thing, everyone was first starting to get their Betamax or VHS player. Really VHS because... Right. And so... This was the comedy movie that was kind of like the coming-of-age comedy movie that was the first comedy movie to really prominently, that you would rent, that wasn't a big-budget comedy movie that you'd heard about a lot, but was kind of an underground, whispered at school kind of thing because there were boobs in it, and it was really funny with the karate stuff. Catholic High School Girls in Trouble, one of my favorite. It's absolutely hilarious because they do a trailer for a movie called Catholic High School Girls in Trouble, and the entire trailer is literally just a shower and a girl in the shower with her breasts getting slammed up against the glass of the shower full, while being soaked and full.
Now that's worth $7.50 a movie.
That scene alone is definitely worth a rental price. But there's a whole bunch of other stuff in there. With the Fistful of Yen, it's like a full-on, almost half-hour parody of Enter the Dragon, and it's really, really funny, and it's.
But that would be wrong.
You would have the opportunity to kill 50 or 60 men. Oh. Well, let me reconsider. I mean, right down to the Jim Kelly-esque sidekick that's in that parody as well. So, yes, definitely Kentucky Fried Movie.
Was it not actually Jim Kelly? Because in my mind it is.
It could be.
I don't remember.
Sadly enough, I actually saw the parody. I saw Kentucky Fried Movie before I saw Enter the Dragon. So when I watched Enter the Dragon, for me, it was a little bit more like, wow, this is really pretty funny. More so than just, wow, this really kicks ass. Although now, I appreciate how much it kicks ass. All right. Other great spoof movie, Meet the Feebles.
I'm not a huge fan of that one, but I can understand why you dig it.
It's a difficult. Are you guys familiar with Meet the Feebles at all?
No.
Okay, Meet the Feebles. If anyone's familiar with the movie, definitely call us and I'll give you the first set of tickets. 347-326-9700. Put that on Twitter. If you're familiar with Meet the Feebles and you want to talk about it. Feebles? And what it is, for those that don't know, it's Peter Jackson, the guy that directed the Lord of the Rings movies. Okay, it's his first film. And what it is, it's a show. The Feebles are a Muppet-esque troupe, of performers, and they're puppets basically. But in the context of the movie, they're actual performers. They're not puppets. They're actual people-esque type things like Muppets are in Muppetland or Muppetville or whatever. And they're whatever. And they're called Feebles. That's what they're called. And their show is called Meet the Feebles. And their show is in danger of being canceled. And it's all the behind-the-scenes stuff that goes on with the Feebles while they're attempting to put on the show, and they have many various problems. Like there's a knife-throwing Feeble who's a heroin addict from his time that he spent serving in Vietnam. There's another Feeble, a rat Feeble that makes pornographic films with other Feebles and whatnot. There's the hippo Feeble who's having the affair with the rhino. You know what I'm talking about.
I haven't seen the movies.
Yeah, there's like the boss Feeble who's having an affair with the hippo Feeble, but then he's also having an affair with a cat, and they're all killing each other, going crazy, doing drugs, having sex. There's like a bunny with an STD. I mean, there's like all kinds.
You say that like they're buddies.
Right. Well, that's exactly what it is. It's all okay because they're puppets, and it's done as this sort of really disturbing sort of behind the scenes look.
Like the behind the music episode of the Muppet Show.
Basically, yeah, but just you see them in just the most horrifying, and it's actually somewhat difficult to watch because it's so graphic, and it's puppets, but it's still puppets, but it's so graphic with the puppets that it's difficult. It's really tough.
You haven't lived till you've seen a puppet shoot up heroin.
You haven't, yeah, and then when the the one puppet like eats another puppet, he eats like the fish puppet comes up to him and he eats him. And then And then like a half an hour later in the movie, he's playing golf and he just regurgitates him onto the golf tee and hits him with a golf driver.
Literally haven't seen it in 20 years.
Okay, all right.
I couldn't tell you.
Well, so we've got some other ones on here. We talked about Airplane. All right.
Surely you just. Don't call me Shirley.
and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar actually.
Captain Skyhook.
And that role was originally offered to Pete Rose, but Pete Rose couldn't do it. He was playing baseball.
He was gambling.
I was just gonna say that.
He was gambling. Or not gambling, as he would have.
Here's a movie we didn't think about, something recent, Superbad. I don't know if that's direct parody, but it's pretty popular and it's making fun of a lot of people. And
I don't know if that would fall in the category of parody joke.
Was that
It's a little close. I mean, it's a little close. It serves as a very good example of that type of comedy. You know, that sort of like teen coming of age comedy. It serves as a really good example of that.
It's not really a spoof. I'm like, not another teen movie would be like a spoof.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But a great movie nonetheless.
Great movie.
Oh yeah, of course, Superbad. I mean, come on, you got McLovin. How can you go wrong? All right.
And Bill Hader and Seth Rogen are actually my favorite.
Yeah, I you know I'm a huge Bill Hader
I
fan.
cannot get enough of Bill Hader in that movie.
I can't get enough Bill Hader at all. All right, at Melissa Doyler wants the tickets but can't call. Loves Sodomy song from Meet the Feebles. All right. You know what? I'm gonna make a judgment call on this one. Because you referenced the Sodomy song, and you should hashtag Sodomy song. There's the quote of the show, and you should hashtag. All right. I think we're gonna. Yep. We're gonna say Melissa Doyler. We're gonna give her 2 tickets. We're gonna announce her a winner. So we got our first winner.
Yay, first
all right.
winner.
Now from now on, I've got 2 more sets of tickets to give away. You got to call for them. 347-326-9700. All right. We talked about Airplane. Right, and one of the things you mentioned, you were talking about, is that many of the lines, and you say that for you, the Airplane is sort of the exception to the rule of spoof movies, right? Go ahead with that.
Right. Well, it's just very good for me. I've never really been a big fan of spoof movies because so many of them fall into that, Meet the Spartans camp, where it's just references without jokes.
Right.
Just because you reference something doesn't make it funny, and too many of them think that just because. Hey, look, he looks like the guy from Twilight. That's supposed to be a joke of some sort.
Right. I know what that is, and he farted. Ha, ha, ha.
Right.
Right, okay.
But Airplane took a movie called 0 Hour, which is like a 50s or 60s disaster movie.
1957.
And they used the same situation, some of the exact same dialogue, and it's just the spin they put on it that made it so incredibly funny.
We have to find someone who can not only fly this plane, but who didn't have fish for dinner.
Exactly.
One of the lines taken directly from...
Right. Those are exact lines from the movie, and it's amazing how they could take a movie like that and turn it into something incredibly funny. And no matter how many times you see Airplane, it's always funny.
It is, and there's some other elements of Airplane, too, that are taken directly from that. The singing nun.
Yeah.
The girl needing a transplant, and that's taken directly from Airport 1975 with Karen Black, who of course
should be in everything.
Well, none of the Raiders. She was in only one Raiders of the Lost Ark movie. She was only featured prominently in one Raiders.
You're thinking of Karen Allen.
I am thinking of Karen
Black
Allen.
or somebody else.
I am.
Karen Black is the chick from Trilogy of Terror.
See, I've just been called out again.
You have.
I totally whiffed on that one.
You did.
It could have been worse. I could have said Margot Kidder.
And then she'd have shown up in your backyard.
Right, she would have. Yeah, I would. She's asleep in the other room right now. All right. So.
She's never really asleep. Be careful.
Okay. So Top Secret, we talked about that. Val Kilmer. Spinal Tap. This is where we get into what makes a spoof a spoof. Because Spinal Tap is clearly a spoof and a parody of the recording industry and
of just rock documentaries in general.
Right. Okay. But is it actually a spoof movie? Does it qualify as a spoof? Because if it does, it may be the greatest of all time.
I think you converted me on that. I think I got to go with yes, because it really is a spoof of those like Shine a Light, the Rolling Stones, like those kinds of movies. Give Me Shelter, like all those kinds of rock documentaries. You can't even watch them anymore without thinking about Spinal Tap. When you see new ones, so many of the stuff that happens seems like it's taken straight from Spinal Tap, getting lost backstage. All that kind of stuff.
And the thing
the props not work.
The thing that's revealing for me on that, because I have another one on here right after it, which is Fear of a Black Cat, which is another. But here's how you know it's a good film: is it's referred to as the Spinal Tap of this genre of film.
Yeah.
So, like, Fear of a Black Cat, if you guys have, I don't know if you guys are familiar with that movie at all.
No.
You guys especially, with what you guys do.
Are you familiar with the movie CB4?
Yes.
Imagine if CB4 was
like
good.
That, only funny.
Only funny, and actually well done.
Oh.
It's essentially a spoof movie, and it's a Rusty Cundiff movie. It's fantastic. Made for $999,999, financed by Spike Lee.
Seriously?
Yes. Because he wouldn't give him
$1
$1 million budget. They didn't believe enough in the film to give it $1 million budget. But essentially what it is, it's a Spinal Tap of type movie. It's a mockumentary, if you will, of your typical Southern California hardcore rap group called NWH. And, you know, it's with hats is basically what it is. And they wear hats, and they have and they just have, I mean, they have some absolutely brilliant parody songs throughout that whole movie. One of my favorite hip-hop jokes of all time comes from that movie. One of the funniest hip-hop jokes ever.
What's the joke?
They're sitting around, and the woman interviewing them says, "What exactly is the difference between a bitch and a hoe?" And the response is, "That's simple. A bitch F's everybody. A hoe F's everybody except for you." It's funnier if you throw the F-bomb in. I don't like to curse on the air, so I'm not going to go with that. But I'm seriously going to encourage you guys, because if nothing else, you need to hear the song Booty Juice. Yes. It's as great as it sounds. It really is. It's and the video alone is he's around a pool, and he's got women in thongs all around him, and they have spigots like on their butts, and he's just turning them on. And
I think I've actually seen it. I didn't know what the name was, but it was one of those like real network movies that you just kind of look at and you're just
you got to see it uncut. It's called Fear of a Black Cat. You've got to see it uncut. Yeah, and hashtag it too, because if no one else has seen that movie.
Incidentally, whatever happened to Rusty Cundiff?
Well,
he had a couple of great movies, and then
he made that one, and then he made Tales from the Hood, and he made another movie called Sprung, and then
that's actually really funny.
Yeah, and then
That's the last thing of his I saw.
What do you think about Cookie Maven?
I think
Undercover Brother.
Undercover Brother, yeah, I would definitely include that. I think Pootie Tang, I mean, I don't know, it's almost a spoof, but it's just a very specific character.
It's a spoof of like those kind of like Superfly and
I guess.
Like blaxploitation kind of.
I guess. All right.
Okay, here's a question.
And whatever gives a plug to Louis C.K. is always good.
All right.
What do you guys think about all of the
Again, David Cross.
Christopher Guest movies?
We love him.
I mean, like, would you consider those spoofs?
Well, I mean, you're talking.
Show, Best in Show.
Well, I mean, not necessarily. Although, certain ones yes, certain ones no. Spinal Tap, yes, right?
Yeah.
Mighty Wind.
Pretty much the same thing, but with folk music.
Yeah, it's Spinal Tap with folk music, just as good. I say we be bold. I say we open with Wandering.
I haven't gone so far as to say just as good, but it is pretty good.
It's pretty darn close, man. I mean, it's about
Spinal Tap is.
It's as close as you're going to get, though. But I mean,
Best in Show, I think, was one of the best movies. Like, maybe jokey movies in the '90s.
Was Best in Show was early part. I think it was 2000 or 2001. But I would include Best in Show in that, I guess, if we're going to include the guest movies.
Yeah.
Certainly. I mean, I didn't particularly enjoy Waiting for Guffman. Yeah. To be honest, I didn't think it was quite as good.
See, I loved Waiting for Guffman, but that was because at the time I was in college when it came out.
Right.
And I was in an improv group, and like it was so much of it was from.
It was your experience. It was exactly your experience. All right.
All the community theater and stuff and all that, it was exactly what we were going through. So.
Well, anytime if you've ever been involved in doing that sort of thing, you can appreciate exactly what's happening there, because just the scene where he asks for $100,000 and he doesn't get it, his reaction is priceless. He just can't believe that he's not getting this money. All right, so
Spike Lee to finance it for $1 under.
See, there you go. But I'm pretty sure that if his play was as good as that movie, wouldn't have been a problem.
There you go.
Okay, it gave us Ice Froggy Frog. I mean, how else can you go wrong? Okay, so
you just love my froggy style.
That's right. Now the other ones I've got on the list of great spoof movies on the Beans list. I've got a trio of films here. We mentioned Mel Brooks, and I got to say, obviously the top three, and in no particular order. Although I think two of these really are the top two, and then the third one is the third one. Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein, and History of the World Part 1. And with all due respect for History of the World Part 1, it's definitely and clearly number 3 on that list.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot less consistent than the other two.
Though it does feature my favorite line from any Mel Brooks movie ever.
Which would be?
Yeah.
Don't get saucy with me, Bernays. I mean, to me, that is genius humor. That's hilarious. And actually, we talk about George on the show all the time. He and I bonded over that because we were watching History of the World Part 1 together. We had never watched it together. And when that scene came up, we both turned to each other and said, the best line of the movie is coming up right now. And there it was. Because Blazing Saddles is a brilliant movie. Co-written, by the way, with Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor, yeah.
And he should have been the star, but the studio didn't want him to star in the movie. They chose Cleavon Little instead. Huge mistake.
No mistake at all.
You don't think so?
Was perfection in that movie.
I think Cleavon Little was great. I think Richard Pryor would have been much more funny.
No.
No? You don't think so?
I think you're not giving Cleavon Little enough credit.
You think Richard Pryor just would have been too scared?
No, I mean, I have nothing against
Everything would have been frightening for him?
Nothing against Richard Pryor, but I think Cleavon Little sold that better than Richard Pryor would have.
Okay. Fair enough.
Frank, I'd like to bring up 2 points. Number one, I was just thinking about this, and remember how we were mentioning airplanes? Remember Soul Plane?
Soul Plane. Yes.
Oh.
How could I forget the Tom Arnold Snoop Dogg joint?
Actually,
Right.
One of the
Plane
movies we've mentioned earlier is the reason I own Soul Plane. I've never seen Soul Plane, but I bought I'm Gonna Get You Sucka on DVD, and it came as a double feature with Soul Plane.
There you go.
And I was like, is there any way I can just buy half of this? Can I buy the one disc and just leave the other one here?
Package deal.
I hate the fact that I have Soul Plane sitting on my shelf.
Really?
You've never seen it, though, have you?
I haven't. I've actually been using the disc as a coaster.
Really? You've been using it as a coaster? No, that's just not cool.
Kevin Hart is turning in his, well, he's not dead, but he's turning, wherever he is.
He's turning in his career's grave.
There you go.
He's very upset. He's hanging out with Brett Leonard, and we're getting a lot of flack from that. All right.
Wait, wasn't Kevin Hart just down here at like the Improv a couple of days ago?
He's very little.
Oh, great. I'm going to show up here and beat me.
Wait.
Possible. All right.
I'm sorry, they gave away tickets for that.
It's Kevin.
Kevin
Guy. No, they're just not little. Oh. They're both very
Oh, wait, no, Kevin Little is a rapper, right?
Wait,
Yeah.
no, Kevin Little's bigger than Kevin Hart, you're saying?
Kevin Hart's like 4'11", I think.
But how big's Kevin Little?
He's probably 6 feet 2.
Can you Google that? Can you Google that?
They would all be intimidated by Young Frankenstein. And again, I think Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein, in terms of Mel Brooks spoof movies, in terms of spoof movies, they're at the top, right?
Yeah.
But for Brooks specifically,
I mean, I think Young Frankenstein is probably one of the funniest movies ever made, period. I don't care if you're talking about spoofs or whatever. Young Frankenstein's always funny.
Young Frankenstein is always funny. Now, unfortunately, we have another list of questionable Mel Brooks spoof movies.
Uh-oh.
And Deep in Your Tonsils is going to be a little upset with us because I do have Robin Hood Men in Tights on there. I do have Robin Hood Men in Tights on there.
Poor Deep in Your Tonsils.
I do think that the Kevin Costner Robin Hood movie was actually funnier than Robin Hood Men in Tights. Yeah, of course. You know, can I just say, this is how you know it's going to be a bad late 80s, early 90s movie. And I don't mean this to be disrespectful in any way, but I'm just going to say it because we're all thinking it, okay? If Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio is your hot female lead, if that's the best you can do for your film, you're in trouble. You're in big trouble. You know, in the back of your mind, you're going, oh, dude, this is The Color of Money all over again. This isn't going to be good.
I forgot she was in The Color of Money.
See, there's a reason.
Yeah.
This is not going to be good.
Her from The Abyss.
This is, and again, see, there you go,
Yeah.
okay? This isn't going to work. This is going to be, like, you know what it's going to be? Baking soda.
That wouldn't work.
And speaking of late 80s, early 90s, remember Loaded Weapon with Emilio Estevez?
Yes.
That's what we forgot about. That's
Excellent call, 1993.
Doing my contractually obligated Butt in the Moonbeam one.
Yep. Actually a great, and I mean, you have so many good elements in that film.
Tim Curry.
Yes.
Do
it again. Anything with Tim Curry, but especially that role. And Shatner is General Motors.
Who are you? I'm your worst nightmare. No, waking up without my penis is my worst nightmare.
And also, that was really when Samuel Jackson's career really started taking off.
Yeah. And Emilio Estevez went the other way.
Went the other way, yeah. But, oh, man. That's a good one. Loaded Weapon 1 is one I had completely forgotten about. And how could I forget that? Because I've been watching T.J. Hooker. And now Mrs. the Unicorn understands all the impressions of Shatner where he speaks in that way.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't do it as badly. Like, he does that all the time, but he's specifically
never more so than T.J.
Yeah, never more so than T.J. Hooker. Although in Loaded Weapon 1, he did make a point of doing that quite a bit in that one as well. He did. But in T.J. Hooker, it's just terrible.
What about the one where he stuck his face in the fish tank and came up with the piranha in his teeth?
Yeah, classic Shatner. All right. 347-326-9700. We have 2 more sets of tickets to give away. And we've had some questions. We're going to get to the local music segment, although, you guys are obviously
chilling. We're having fun.
They're chilling. But you guys, I want you to still stay involved, but we're going to specifically get to playing some of the music in about 10 minutes. I know we had some questions on Twitter on that, so I just wanted to let them know. Okay, another questionable Mel Brooks, and with all apologies to Mary Elizabeth Master Antonio, we're gonna do what her career did and leave her by the side of the road. We're gonna do what Hollywood did, leave her by the side of the road, just move on. Another questionable Mel Brooks spoof movie, with all apologies to Robot Embassy, Spaceballs.
I like Spaceballs.
Spaceballs is great.
No.
Honestly,
No.
so cute.
I gotta tell you guys, I love John Candy, but I gotta tell you,
he's his own best friend.
I gotta tell you though, if you look back now,
which I have,
if you look back,
that long ago.
it just doesn't hold up.
It does.
It just doesn't hold up.
But except for that, it does.
Except that it doesn't.
Come on.
I disagree with you. I am putting it in a questionable. I have that as a questionable Mel Brooks spoof.
I think if Daphne Zuniga were here, she would slap your face.
She probably would, because she's got nothing better to do. And I think also too the terrible cartoon that they made of Spaceballs
The cartoon was unwatchable.
It took away a lot
I'll give you that.
from.
But that has nothing to do with the movie. I mean, the movie is its own thing. The cartoon came 20 years later.
I'm not sold, man. I'm not sold on it.
Just because the cartoon was awful, you can't hold that against the movie itself.
I've never really.
Don't blame Dark Helmet.
I've never been able to enjoy that film.
Why?
I just don't know. In fact, I actually like the little thumb guy version of parody of Star Wars better. You know the one I'm talking about? Yeah, the little short.
I know what you mean.
15-minute thumb wars or whatever. Your studio. Y'all had treatment. All right. Okay, we can all agree this is a questionable. In fact, there's nothing questionable about this. This is just the worst, probably the worst movie Mel Brooks has ever made. Dracula Dead and Loving It.
That might be the worst movie anybody's ever made.
Oh, you've not seen. You've not seen.
Steven Weber. That's a terrible.
You've not seen some of the crap I've seen, sir.
That's true.
Dare I name the most offensive film I've ever seen on air for the first time ever? Shall I say it?
Dun dun dun.
Black Beans and Rice.
Oh, we've talked about Black Beans and Rice.
Awful. All right. Truly wretch-inducing. Just bad. Well, hold on. Now,
Brooklyn really wasn't that bad.
Really wasn't.
Reputation, but it's not that bad.
It wasn't. Just for the Jerry curl. The Jerry curl alone was great. Blackula, tops the list. We discussed that last week on our Halloween show. Blackula is just number one all the way around. Okay, but so Dracula Dead and Loving, just terrible, just bad. We got lazy spoof movies. Okay, like Disaster Movie. You were talking about how it's just. Go ahead.
It's a collection of scenes from trailers from movies that hadn't even come out yet, where they just hey, look, it's Iron Man. Oh, he bumped his head. Ha ha ha. Oh, the Hulk's pants came off. Ha ha. Really? I mean, that's the closest to comedy they could get. I mean,
that's the title.
Okay.
Disaster. It's a disaster movie. But there's a lot of those. A lot of the lazy teen spoof movies. We said Meet the Spartans, which I think is probably one of the most.
I actually tried to watch. I think it was Scary Movie 4. Might have been Scary Movie 3. I don't know which one it was. It was on Comedy Central the other night.
Probably.
And for some reason, it was like a 20-minute parody of 8 Mile. Which I get parodying 8 Mile, but how the hell is that a scary movie? Other than Kim Basinger.
I couldn't tell you.
I just don't get why they were.
All right, so Deep in Your Tonsils tweets us Family Guy Star Wars spoof. I think the Family Guy Star Wars spoof, and particularly the Robot Chicken Star Wars spoof, they were both far superior to the movie Spaceballs.
And I think, well, I don't know about that, but Family Guy gets a lot of flack for doing kind of what we're talking about, where they just make a reference in lieu of a joke. But they can also do it well. Like the Star Wars stuff was. Yes, okay, it's licensed parody, feel the sting, but it's still pretty damn funny.
It was really funny.
I particularly enjoyed it.
He decapitated Danny Elfman, which I've been wanting to do for about 10 years now. I'm sad to say.
Nice.
As a fan, I know.
Danny Elfman, who graciously provides our theme music and is of distant relation to the unicorn.
I know.
By beans, they're not necessarily.
Yes, thank you. Excellent.
But at the same time, I gave up somewhere around Planet of the Apes. I just want to see him do good again.
All right. Well, Just listen.
It wasn't a dig so much as it was a call to action for Danny Elfman.
Okay. As long as he's not doing
Why doesn't he love me like he used to?
as long as he's not composing for spoof movies. Is that where we're going?
I guess that's true.
All right. So superhero movie. We've got that one on here.
Never saw that.
I never.
Don't know anything about it.
I didn't either. It's just. But these are the kind of films when we're talking about like superhero movie, Meet the Spartans, epic movie.
Anything that has movie at the end is probably not going to be that great.
Yeah, I mean, if you're that lazy with the title, come on, right? But that's the thing. They just feel lazy. And like you say, it's just a collection of references thrown together and in a nonsensical plot format, which is supposed to enhance the comedy, which doesn't.
Right.
Doesn't work.
Like Year One tried to do that, and it was basically just History of the World Part 1 again.
But with
just that one
right.
scene in History in the World Part 1.
Right.
Which is...
And again, these are the kind of films to me that they just feel a little bit lazy, and they're easily identifiable. It's got whatever teen star happens to have a WB show or Disney Channel show, or had a Disney Channel show.
I mean, they just did one that Vampires Suck. Which,
right.
I mean, Twilight has to be the easiest thing in the world to spoof or to pick on, and they went with
we pick on it frequently.
Even Ken Jeong couldn't help that movie.
He was hilarious in that movie, though. My friend made me see it. I went under protest, but he was hilarious in that movie.
All right, we got a call coming in. Let's take this call. All right. Caller, you're on the horn.
Hello, is that me?
Yeah. It's Frank the Unicorn.
Hey.
What's up?
Hi, what's going on? My name's Raphael. I work with Emily, and I'm also the Papa Smurf on the Smurfs photo that you have on your website.
Oh, cool. All right, Papa Smurf. Awesome. So let's do this. I want to give away these burlesque tickets. They're burning a hole in my unicorn hand. I want to give these away. Give us some spoof movies.
By the way, the smell of burning unicorn is not pleasant.
No, it's not. Here's what we're looking for. Either give me a really, really lazy spoof movie I can make fun of, or give us a really good spoof movie we can look forward to.
Oh, man. I guess a bad spoof movie would be Epic Movie.
Okay, we had Epic Movie on there. That's definitely qualifies.
I'm on the spot here. Kind of blank.
You see how we do this?
How about, what was that movie? The Kung Fu one with the one-breasted woman.
Oh, well, hold on a minute now. Hold on a minute. If you're saying Kung Fu Hustle, we may have a really serious disagreement. I personally think Kung Fu Hustle is fantastic.
Steven Chadwick, right?
Yes, yes, it was great. In fact, that's a great.
It was great, but that's actually not the one I'm talking about.
That's a great one to bring in. I'll do just for reminding me of that. I'll give you burlesque tickets.
Yeah.
All right, and we got applause. Wow, that's the first time that's ever happened.
Wow.
Okay, Raphael, because you inadvertently reminded us of one of the finer spoof movies, which is the Kung Fu Hustle, which is a great kung fu spoof movie, and just enjoyable. It's just funny and enjoyable, and there's some really good action in it too. I want you to send us a direct message on Twitter, and with the information producer, we're going to get you've got tickets to Cinemark Palace on November 18th to catch a sneak preview of the movie Burlesque.
Oh, right on. Thanks very much.
Awesome. So we appreciate it. That's a great call. Thank you very much. And Raphael, thank you very much, man. Have a good one.
You got it. Take care.
Awesome. Cool. All right, so good call. So 347-326-9700. We'll continue that theme, although we're really only going to continue it for about 2 more minutes. And so I want to play a couple songs, actually. Normally, just so you guys know, when we have local music guests, we only play one song. In this
special.
Well, you got first one.
It's not so much that you're special or that you're here, it's that there's cookies. And if we play more music, we can eat cookies.
Right. That's also part of it. But you guys are in the studio, so I definitely want to give a little bit more time and play a couple more things, because the whole theme of our show is spoofs, and you guys that's what you guys do.
You write the parody songs.
You guys do parody songs.
Comedy, skits and bits, all kinds of stuff.
Awesome. So the first one we're gonna do, okay, we're gonna do 2 separate ones, but we're gonna do a first one, and I want you to set this one up.
Okay.
It's Butterface. Give us a setup on this one.
Okay, well, everybody knows what a Butterface is, and if you don't know what a Butterface is, that's the situation when you see a girl and everything looks good. Wow. No. Butterface. Okay, she's also the same claims she can be known as AKA a scepter head, which is everything's good scepter head.
Nice.
Okay, that's also good.
You also got,
I think we've got a new hashtag. Hashtag Scepterhead. I think that's awesome.
I've never heard that.
There's a great band name for you.
If you like that, you're gonna like summer teeth. Yeah. That's when some of her teeth are here and some of her teeth are over there.
Mm.
You know, she's got lots of gaps. But yeah,
basically everything's good on her. Butterface.
She got a 5 head, maybe she's got a snaggle tooth. You know, but the body is what we're talking about.
Yeah, hot body.
She can open a can with her mouth.
You know,
that's what we're saying. All right. And so this is a parody of
Butterface. This is going to be, you know, it's not a real, it's a parody. It's not a real parody. It's a parody. It's not a parody. It's a spoof. It's not a spoof. It's just basically real life imitating art imitating life.
It's a creative song.
All right. And this is the Smash Brothers. As I get an early start on the cookies.
Here
we go.
Joey Sexton, Smash Brothers.
Here we go.
Yo, man, you see that girl over there? Walking over the back facing us? Yeah, she looks good. Yeah, long blonde hair, nice fit body. Yo, she's turning around. Oh, shit. Oh my, what the? Oh.
She's a butterface, everything good on her. Butterface, she's a butterface. Do you wanna taste of that butterface? Butterface. Butterface, she's a butterface. Everything good on her. Butterface, she got some thick hips. That body's so sick. Butterface looking like it's a butter stick. Mrs. Buttersworth with a butter chin, with some nice lips. Yeah, I let her have a lick. She's a hot chick with some big tits. Butterface looking like I don't wanna kiss it. I definitely hit it, only from behind. Reverse cowgirl if she really wanna ride. But if she's not quite the butterface, all that makes her is more the butter spray. Yeah, she's so fly. Butterface makes her flutter. Have you say, I can't believe it's not butter. A butterface, everything good on her. Butterface, she's a butterface. Do you wanna taste of that butterface? Butterface, she's a butterface. Everything good on her. Butterface,
she's got a butterface. She's got a busted face. She could have been a 9, but she a 6 because of face. Looking like Land O'Lakes with one hell of a body. Limo tinted windows up when she be riding shotty. Yeah, tits and ass is money, but that face is such a dagger. I wish I wish she would just let me brown bag her. She got 5 head with a snaggle too, so she's a scepter face. That means everything up on this girl is good except the face. Yeah, I wouldn't trade a thing, I leave it all just not a face. I wish upon a shooting star she had a hotter face. God bless her with a body, but he forgot her face. Amen. Doggy style, face down, ass up, your friends all did it, come on man. No, tits and ass, ain't that enough? Some facial hair, a little scruff. Shrink a 6-pack, then you could. You don't wanna, but you would. Nutter butter up that hoe as long as no one got to know. Girls like that, they gotta pay. That girl got a butter face.
She's a butterface. Everything good on her. Butterface, she's a butterface. Do you wanna taste of that butterface? Butterface, she's a butterface. Everything good on her. Butterface.
Okay, so that's all right. So that's Butterface by the Smash Brothers, and we're getting random information about Stephanie text messaging the Cookie Maven. That's great. But okay, well I'm glad we're glad, and if she enjoyed that part of the show, she's going to enjoy what we've got coming up next, because one of the benefits of having live in studio guests is that they can do live in studio things. In this case, we're lucky enough to have the Smash Brothers with us, and they're going to do
Celebrity Rap Jeopardy.
Here we go.
One of the things that we do is a little skit in the bit called Celebrity Rap Jeopardy. And I'll explain it to you right now. Basically, just listen to what we have to say. And if you've ever seen Jeopardy, you know rap artists, and you're going to like this. Okay, I'll be your host. This is Alex Trebek, and I'm your host for Celebrity Rap Jeopardy. We we have various artists from the rap universe in various categories. I'll just go through them really quick. We have Liquor and Consequences, Skincare, Sweet Things, 1990s Trivia, Places, Famous Athletes, Presidents, Office Slang, Things You Are/Are Not, Other Than a Car, and Fictional Characters. All right, 50 Cent, you have control of the board because you did win the 50-cent coin toss. So go ahead, 50, pick the first category.
I'll take Liquor and Consequences for 100, Alex.
All right, this is what you do to the top of a champagne bottle. Ding! 50 cents.
What is pop up?
That is correct. That is correct. 50, you still have control of the board.
I'll take Skincare for 100, Alex.
Skincare for 100. This skincare company boasts daily moisturization of the face and elbows. Drake.
What is a vino?
That is correct.
Vino.
Drake, 1990s Trivia for 200. This is the name of the pet dinosaurs from the Flintstones. Ding. Drake.
What is Dino?
That is correct. All right, now Drake, Liquor and Consequences for 300. This is America's favorite wine. Ding. Drake.
What is Pinot Grigio?
That is correct. All right, moving on. We're going to go to Places for 500. This famous city is known for its pizza and its famous bridge. Jay-Z.
Yeah, what is Brooklyn?
That is correct. All right, moving right along, we're going to go to Famous Athletes for 200. This athlete started his career as wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings, was traded to the Patriots, and recently got, yes, Rick Ross.
Who is Mouse? Randy Mouse.
That is correct. Rick Ross, we're going to go with Presidents for 300. In this administration, the 1979 Act of Congress was established, and ding, Lil Wayne.
What is the Carter administration, Alex?
That is correct, Lil Wayne.
Yes.
And moving right along, let's go with Office Slang for 300. This is your direct superior in the workplace. Ding! Rick Ross.
Who is your boss?
That is correct. All right, Sweet Things for 100. This is where you go to get your candy supply. Ding! 50 cents.
What is the candy shop?
That is correct. Moving right along, let's go with Things You Are/Things You Are Not for 100. If you are in a ventriloquist act and you are not the ventriloquist, you would be this. Ding! Ludacris.
What is use a dummy?
That is correct.
Loda.
And Famous Athletes for 500. This athlete had a Nike Shox deal, now plays for the Orlando Magic, and is constantly injured. Yes, Lil Wayne.
Who is the Carter?
I'm going to need you to be a little more specific.
Who is Vince Carter?
That is correct. Lil Wayne, pick a category.
Liquor and Consequences, Alex.
For 300, Liquor and Consequences. This is what happens when you get caught drinking and driving. Ding! DMX.
What is a DUI? Because I was driving drunk and I was really high.
That actually is correct. You were right about that. All right, 1990s trivia for 150. Tony Danza played a maid who had a boss named Angela in this particular sitcom. Ding! Rick Ross.
Who is the boss?
That is correct.
Ross.
All right, 1990s trivia for 400. What show features a character named Raymond where he's constantly dealing with bothersome family members? Ding! Nicki Minaj.
Everybody loves Raymond.
That is correct. I'm not sure if Nicki Minaj is retarded or if she's just slow, but that is correct. Nicki Minaj, you have control of the board.
Fictional characters.
All right, fictional characters for 100. Name 4 of Santa's reindeer. Ding! Nicki Minaj.
Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Cupid, Connor, Blitzen, Cupid, Blitzen.
That's, judges? Yes, that is correct, I suppose. All right, moving right along, the last category, other than a car for 500. This bipedal system is not a car, and you don't need a license to drive it. You can take it off-road. DMX.
What is a BMX? I be the best. I be the rest. Nobody ever see the best.
So are you saying BMX bicycle? Judges, yes. Okay, great. And now we're going to move right along. Other than a car for 500. This is what the government uses to spy on people. It hovers, and it has a propeller system. It's not a plane. Yes, P.D. Pablo.
What is a helicopter?
That is correct, helicopter. And now, Lil Wayne, being that you are just out of prison, let's go with you. Pick a category.
Young money, sweet things, Alex.
All right. This is the opposite of a sucker. Yes, Lil Wayne.
What is a lollipop?
That is correct. All right, and last question for the win, 1990s trivia, Lil Wayne. This movie starred Mike Myers and Dana Carvey in a Saturday Night Live spoof. Lil Wayne.
What is Wayne's World?
That is correct.
I changed girl.
And we'll be right back after these messages.
Okay. Applause, everybody. All right. Cool. All right. So, we got Rap Jeopardy. I don't know how many people were actually playing Jeopardy at that time. There was a lot of rappers there, but that's good. All right. 347-326-9700. Well, we got a call coming in. Let's see. Caller, you're on the horn.
If it's Lil Wayne, we're sorry.
Hi. I had a question for the host.
Okay.
And I wanted to know if you knew what Michael Jackson's favorite dessert was.
Red velvet cake. Is that correct?
Yes, it is red velvet cake. Actually, no, it's wrong. It's actually chocolate cake. From my sources are telling me it's chocolate cake.
All right. How is this call going to win tickets to Burlesque? How is that going to happen?
Huh?
Because I got to tell you, I want to give you tickets to the
red velvet cake.
I want to give you tickets to the Cinemark Palace. But
you want to give me tickets to the Cinemark Palace?
I want to, but I need to justify those tickets in some fashion. I can't do that for that Michael Jackson joke.
Okay. So what do you want?
I think apparently, do you write for? Did you have anything to do with writing disaster movie?
No, it had nothing to do with writing disaster movie.
How about Epic Movie? Were you involved in the production of Epic Movie at all?
No, sir, but I was involved with the production of Scary Movie.
Scary Movie, okay.
Yes.
You want to give us a story on that or what?
Oh, no, I thought it was just, like, I was allowed to joke around.
Well, of course you're allowed to joke around. Of course you're allowed to joke around. I was actually taking you serious. I don't know.
Oh, were you really? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't.
You have no reason to lie to me, sir. I would believe you if you told me you worked on Scary Movie. I apologize. I didn't know that was humorous. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. I want to give you these tickets. Let me ask you this: do you want to win these tickets?
I do want to win those tickets.
You do want to win these tickets?
Yes, sir.
So here's what I want you to do. First, please don't call me sir. I'm a unicorn. It's not that formal.
You're a unicorn? Okay, fine. I'll call you unicorn.
That's right. Okay, so that's the whole premise of the show. But so here's what it's okay. Here's what I want you. We have a premise.
When did that happen?
And loosely, it's like a Lifetime movie. It's loosely based on a true story, meaning that
Meredith Baxter.
Right, Meredith Baxter or Laura Ingalls, whatever. Help me out on that.
I got
Melissa Gilbert.
Melissa Gilbert.
Melissa Gilbert.
Melissa Gilbert Brinkman. Is she still Brinkman? I don't know if she's still Brinkman.
Is Liam Devane still around?
Possibly. I just watched him in Payback today, as a matter of fact. So, caller, if you can tell us, is it still Brinkman, or is it just Melissa Gilbert at this point? If you can answer that, you will get yourself some tickets to the movie Burlesque.
I would say Melissa Gilbreth, or whatever her name is, that woman.
That one.
I think that's close enough. I think just hearing Melissa Gilbert, that woman.
I like it.
That in and of itself is worthy. Okay, so here's what I need you to do,
yes.
Caller. I appreciate it. Here's what we're gonna do. First of all, what's your name? We didn't get your name on the air.
My name is Zach.
Zach. Okay. All right, Zach. Here's what I want you to do. I want you or Screech, either one, send a direct Twitter.
Not Kelly.
Send us. It was a terrible joke. I know. Send us a. I'm going to tell you, I'm so tired.
So wait, you want me to mention you on Twitter?
No. Just send us a direct message on Twitter so we can get your contact info, or email us, whatever. And you're going to get. You've got 2 tickets to the movie Burlesque, and this is the premiere.
I have 2 tickets to the movie Burlesque, Joey.
That's right. That's right. Thursday, November 18th, 7:30 p.m. And that's courtesy of South Florida Social Media.
Wow, this is awesome, guys. I honestly didn't know I was gonna win anything. I thought that I was just gonna call in and ask a question.
See, isn't it great? This is why you need to have more people listen to the Frank the Unicorn radio program because you never know when you're going to win.
All right, for sure. I'm gonna shout out on Twitter, but I need to know your Twitter though.
It's at Frank the Unicorn.
It's what, huh?
At Frank the Unicorn.
Frank the Unicorn?
It's Frank the Unicorn. Frank the Unicorn. Just Frank the Unicorn.
Frank the Unicorn, that's it?
There you go. That's it. All right, Zach.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
We'll see you at the Cinemark Palace Thursday, November 18th, 7:30 p.m. Okay, 347-326-9700 on the Frank line if you want to get on this. We are going to we got a couple more things I want to get to. We got basically 3 more major things we're going to get to. First, we've got some more music from the Smash Brothers.
Yeah,
okay. We've got our How Unicorn Are You quiz, which is going to be a good one. I always, I say that. You say that all the week. I do say it all the time. It is great every week. This week is no exception. We're going to be turning this into a drinking game that we're hopefully going to be doing live in a venue with a live broadcast next month.
Can
hopefully.
we start now?
We can. We already did. I mean, I'm pretty sure these cookies are laced, but that's a whole nother.
They're special cookies.
They're special cookies. In an hour, they're going to kick in. An hour after we're off the air, they're going to kick in. We're going to have problems. Okay. Maybe they're a little stronger than we thought. So, all right. It's the Cookie Maven, Simple Dutch Bakery. Okay. Should we real quick? Let's do this because we also have bacon as well. We've got to talk about bacon this week.
Of course,
right? We've got to mention bacon. All right.
Not a week without bacon.
Okay, so let's do this. We're going to talk about bacon real quick. That's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about bacon because I want to get to This Week in Bacon. It's a favorite segment. You can send out the tweets now. I'm talking to the producer. We can send the tweets out that we're talking about bacon because it's apparently everyone's favorite or one of their favorite segments. I think the local music segment's actually the favorite for most people because it's not us. So you see why it would be popular. And then bacon comes in second. So this week on This Week in Bacon, as I said, we've got a couple of different products now. There's a particular company called J&D's, and this is the company. Their slogan is "Everything should taste like bacon." You guys love bacon, right? You gotta love bacon, right?
Well, being Jewish, we're not really allowed to eat supposed to. Yeah.
Do you guys? We're also Jewish, though.
You know what? Yeah, I love bacon. Bacon tastes great.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Amazing. Fantastic.
You see, we're not the only.
Not the only bacon-eating Jews.
That's correct. That's correct. Okay. Well, these guys, what they do, they make a variety of products, of fantastic products, which, believe it or not, are actually kosher-friendly. They don't contain any actual bacon. And usually vegetarian-friendly as well.
I like that.
And to make things taste like bacon. This is the company that made Baconaise.
So your vegetarian rabbi can enjoy some bacon sauce.
That's correct. So, and this ties in nicely, actually, with the song we're going to play next, which is I'm a Jew. So, and of course by the Smash Brothers, who were sitting right next to us. So these are the guys that make Baconaise. Now, Baconaise is a fabulous mayonnaise-style product that tastes just like bacon. And we say the best way we've described it, it's haunting. The flavor is haunting. It is so good, it haunts you. And you will think to yourself, every time you eat Baconaise, my God, what else can I put this on? It will be fantastic. I mean, I'm thinking you could probably put Baconaise on head cheese and make head cheese taste somewhat edible.
You know what? Somehow I doubt that.
You don't think so?
It contains face.
It does. It's head cheese. It's actual. It's meat from the head and face of an animal, cooked and then served in gelatin.
I'll have to try that. Yeah.
Yum.
That sounds like a lovely treat.
A delicacy if ever there was one. All right. So this week though, so J&D's they make the bacon. We're talking about their product, bacon salt. And it's essentially bacon-flavored salt. So you want to cut down on the deadly, right? Because salt and bacon, fantastic. Salt and bacon together on something, even better.
Tastes like it.
Right?
I'm going to go sprinkle some of that on my popcorn right now.
This can revolutionize your life. You can now have salty bacon fries with less salt and yet no bacon, no actual bacon, thanks to J&D's. So bacon salt, that's the one that we're focusing on as being the positive, if you will, for this.
That's not the one that's making people rich.
That's not the one that's making people vomit. That would be the bacon soda.
Bacon soda.
That's right. Our good friends.
That would be a good
our good friends at J&D's, the same food company. They paired with Jones Soda Company. We like Jones Soda Company. We've actually attempted to get Jones Soda Company to make Frank the Unicola. We're still working on it.
Their bubblegum soda is delicious.
They make some great soda, and their soda is all made with cane sugar, so there's no corn syrup. And they have a bunch of different weird flavors. Now, they are the ones who offer gravy-flavored soda. Oh, yeah, that's right. You're giving me the look. The gravy, it's part of a holiday pack. They have gravy-flavored soda and, like, ginger soda. It's really good. Peppermint soda, pumpkin pie flavored soda. This particular, they've teamed with these J&D guys. Now they've got bacon-flavored soda.
That just sounds like a bad idea on every conceivable level.
It really does, and as evidenced by the fact that people that tried it were vomiting in the street. So here we go. Up to this point, every This Week in Bacon we've had has been a positive review of some great bacon-related product. This is the first time we have any negativity towards bacon. We can hashtag bacon negativity. So this is the first time we've had any negativity towards bacon, and it's because they finally found the line with bacon that thou shalt not cross.
They finally found the way to make bacon out of feeling.
You want to make bacon mayonnaise? We're for it. You want to make bacon salt? We're for that. You want to make a bacon costume? Go for it. Right?
Bacon clothing, the bacon dress.
Bacon clothing, the bacon dress, bacon shoes.
Lady Gaga's doing it, right? She's got meat stuff.
And she's got a unicorn tattoo, so we're in favor of that. So, but we finally found where they cross the line. Last week, in terms of the end of where bacon sort of ends, which is with Hello Kitty, because there's no bacon-related Hello Kitty. Although, someone actually from Hello Kitty Hell, which is a really cool blog, they actually sent me a link. This is how cool this was. We had the call to action to find the Hello Kitty bacon thing. Mm-hmm. No one found anything, so it doesn't exist.
This guy going to find it. Hello Kitty Hell's going to find it.
Right, and Hello Kitty Hell actually found for us. There's a specific Hello Kitty pizza that has a bow made of bacon in the Hello Kitty pizza hair. And that's the only, so we found the end of the line, basically, as far as bacon goes, which the end of the line is no Hello Kitty-related product.
There we go. They breached the end of the line.
Well,
now the highway can go on.
They've possibly blurred the end of the line, but they haven't breached it. That
sounds like a breach.
No, I don't think so. So that and then where the appeal of bacon ends is in drink form. So it's not good to consume via beverage.
I would beg to differ. They have a really fantastic product that's actually based out here in South Florida, and it is a maple bacon coffee. A maple bacon roasted coffee.
Okay, but
I just threw up.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it doesn't taste like the bacon, but you get the maple bacon essence.
Well, if it doesn't taste like bacon, it's not really.
Your bacon salt for a margarita, like a bacon rita.
You could do a bacon rita. That would probably be pretty good. But the idea that a carbonated soda type beverage should not have bacon as one of the primary flavors. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work.
I agree.
Right? It's too.
Gravy doesn't sound good.
Yeah, no, the gravy doesn't. The whole Jones holiday pack is really more of like a dare. You know what I mean? It's really more of like a dare.
Like those Harry Potter jelly beans?
Like the Harry Potter, right. Like, oh, this one, does it really taste like grass? Yes, it does. Now, the worst part about that is some poor research assistant had to sit there and figure out what does earwax taste like, how can I make this actually taste like dirt or grass or whatever, or gravy or bacon. Pretty frightening to think about that. All right, so what do we got? I just get the random laughs. Okay, Ralph San Giovanni. I just want to say I definitely drink something called Frank Unicola. I'd imagine it tastes like stardust and bacon. You know what? That doesn't sound. Yeah, then a little bit of love. That doesn't sound like a bad. You know what happens when you drink it? You fart glitter. That's what happens because it's the unicorn magic. It doesn't sound bad. It's a callback. It's a callback to an earlier.
He was going classy.
I was. I can't. We can't. Classy in this show, really? No, come on. We can't have that. All right. This sounds like a perfect time to keep the laughter moving and play this next track. Right? I think we're going to do that. We're going to play this next track, and then when we come back from this track, we're going to do the How Unicorn Are You, and we're going to talk about our actor of the week, which is Leslie Neilsen, and we've got some really great stuff for Leslie Neilsen because he's done some pretty horrifying things in his other films that aren't spoof movies where he plays a lot of heavy roles that a lot of people aren't familiar with. We're going to educate you.
The creator of Bacon Soda?
He possibly did. You're going to love it. It's going to be a good one. All right, so here we go.
Introduction for the song here? Is there anything we need to know?
There you go.
This is actually a real parody. You've probably heard of the song "I'm a Zoe" by Black Dada. Not tatted on my chest because I'm a Zoe. That kind of stuff. Well, it's played everywhere. This one is obviously called "I'm a Jew," and it's pretty much all you need to know about it. It's about being Jewish. So you can go ahead and play that one right now.
See, and you can eat bacon while Jewish. We just want to throw that in there.
But you can have some bacon eggs while you listen to the song.
That's true, and bacon salt. All right.
Yeah, this one goes out to all my Hebrews out there. Ha 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 ha. Let's get it. No tats on my chest cause I'm a Jew. I never had a problem with Hebrew. Went to temple, yes it's true. Got bar mitzvah to be in the crew. On Passover we lied, back in rest we lied. Hanukkah candles at night, me and my rabbi we so tight. No tats on my chest cause I'm a Jew. Star of David, silver and blue. Use coupons, buy one get two. Eating kosher food. I'm a mensch, I don't lie, Baruch atah Adonai. We don't believe in suicide, but sex before marriage is alright. We play dreidels, that's our game, even though dreidels are lame. Jewish mothers, guilt and blame, bring home a shiksa, it's oiveh. Yeah, that's what my dad would say. Steinberg is my lawyer's name. If I slip and fall, I'll sue. Only buy and sale cause I'm a Jew. Only buy and sale cause I'm a Jew. Me and my peeps are the chosen few. Holocaust was real, you know it's true. We don't die, no, we pull through. Drunk on manna, Shabbos wine, gefilte fish, that's how we ride. My boobies lockers are so fly. Separate checks every time. Why should I have to pay for your share too? All I had was matzo ball soup. Straight up gangster in Hebrew school. I can't help, that's how Jews do. Circumcision sounds so mean, but it keeps my schmeckle clean. Yarmulkes get loose, mocked apple juice. On Christmas it's movies and Chinese food. Now I'ma be me and you be you. You're a goy, I'm a Jew. Amy Winehouse is Jewish too. Yes, Amy Winehouse, ew, ew, ew. Wandered in the desert for a real long time. Being Jewish is not a crime. Jewish American princesses, they whine. Israel is better than Palestine. No tats on my chest cause I'm a Jew. Dip my matzah in fondue. Going for a job interview. Shalom means hi and goodbye too. Drunk on manna, Shabbos wine. Bagels and lox at breakfast time. Went to prom with Donna Goldstein. As a movie, don't eat wine. Grandma taught me to save my dime. I'll speak Yiddish anytime. Give me a sandwich, corned beef on rye. At the JCC, my high will shine. Say shalom to all my Jews. L'chaim is what it do. And to schmucks with chutzpah too. Acting like a cockapoo. Israel is what we claim. Shlomo is my Hebrew name. Seen the worst and felt the pain. Adolf Hitler was to blame. Solomon's temple did not fall. We still have a wailing wall. Trying to get that revenue. Chase that pay cause I'm a Jew. Chasing paper cause I'm a Jew. The Jew-fro is my new hairdo. Kyle from South Park rocked it too. Moses is the name of my shih tzu. Luxury sedans we drive. When we get to the club we bribe the bouncer to get us inside. Now with the 50, with the 5. When I say ha, you say la. Ha, la, ha, la. When I say hood, y'all say spy. Hood, spy, hood, spy.
All right, we're back. Okay, so that was I'm a Jew.
Thank you.
Yes, good. All right. From the Smash Brothers. Now, you guys mentioned real quick because the dogs are going crazy. They enjoyed it. All right. You guys mentioned you got a showcase coming up, right?
Me and a singer I'm working with. Her name is Amy. She's a hell of a talent. Basically, the showcase is December 2nd, and it's a Slip and Slide 305 showcase is what it's called by Slip and Slide Records. And they're just basically there to explore talent. We made the audition. They're taking 10 acts, and basically we're going to come out with some fire and show everyone what we got. And our group name is now Chemistry.
That's you and Amy,
Me and Amy, Joey Sexton and Amy. And our group name is Chemistry.
And all the proceeds go to a good cause.
I believe it's something with fighting HIV and for people that have low income and HIV. So it's a good cause.
That's good.
You know, we're all just trying to support the good cause and go out there and provide a show.
There you go.
Awesome. And so that's okay. What and where is it?
It's December 2nd. It's in Miami Beach. The location is not exact right now, TBA, but I'm going to find out some more information. I'll let you guys know and keep you posted.
Okay, cool. So we'll definitely get that on the website as well, and we'll remind people of that coming up because we want people to come out. First of all, we want. It sounds like it is a good cause, but we definitely want people to come out and support local music, support local art.
Absolutely.
This is the whole reason why we do what we do. As we always say, we feel like we're part of this too, and our role in this is that, we've got this little weird radio show that we do, and we feel like we should always be willing to share part of that to try to help other people get their stuff out too, because it is really great. It has a lot of value. It's a lot of fun. It takes a lot of time and effort and a lot of talent, and this is what people should be supporting as opposed to going to see things like Epic Movie. Don't spend your money on that crap. Go and see some live musicians. Yeah, go see some live music. Go see some live comedy that actually is going to add some value to your life and also to it will hopefully elevate the standard of what's out there and what's available.
Oh, absolutely.
Also, when we have other people talking, people tune in.
That's true, and we have the opportunity to eat cookies.
Right.
So now, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to keep Josh and Joey are going to stay with us in the studio. They're going to be here for the entire show. We've got a track that we're going to play after this. It's going to be bonus material on the podcast only. So if you're listening now, we appreciate that. We want you to listen to the rest of the show as well. But then you're also going to want to download the podcast because you're going to want to get the bonus material that we're going to put on the end of that as well.
How much of Deep in Your Console's life are you trying to take over?
As much of it as I possibly can. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do How Unicorn Are You? And for you guys, just to let you know, if you're not familiar with this, basically I propose a series of questions or scenarios with essentially an A or B type answer. The scenarios are sometimes ridiculous and oftentimes call back upon each other, although, oddly enough, no mention really of Seagal in here.
Shame. Or Michael Ian Black?
No. We've given up on Michael Ian Black. He's not paying attention to us. We still love him, but we're done kissing his butt there.
I don't know, because I'm going to watch Wedding Days this week.
Well, I think you definitely should. It's worthy of watching. And again, we love Michael Ian Black. Just we're getting nowhere with this guy, so we're going to move on. We're going to the next target.
He does have what's that thing called? A career.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I love it. People, well, why don't you think Michael Ian Black ever tweets back to you? I don't know, because he's got 1.5 million followers and probably never even sees our tweets. Just saying. Okay. So basically what we do is we come up with these ridiculous premises, and based on your answers, you are either a unicorn or you're not. And this is essentially our version, or will become our version, of the Frank the Unicorn drinking game, is really what this is leading itself to, but we do this segment every week. So
let's get some great alcohol and get into this.
So here's what we're going to do. I'm gonna throw these out. There you go. I'm going to throw these out, and then we can kind of...
So it's How Unicorn Are You, right?
That's the name of it, yes. Okay. All right, so here we go. First question. More terrifying, and these may be a little random and obscure, and I apologize in advance if they are. Not really, I don't. Okay, they will be. All right. More terrifying food to be victimized by, killer tomato or the stuff?
The stuff is creamy and delicious.
And stars Garrett Morris.
But it does eat you from the inside.
And it's Canadian, is it not? I believe that was a Canadian film.
No, but it's got Michael Moriarty, which makes everything better.
The Stuff is a late 80s horror movie, mid 80s horror movie.
It's about these dudes in these cleanup dudes find some horrible, disgusting gunk oozing out of a sewer while they're doing some kind of like cleanup in the sewers. And one of them tastes it for some reason and decides that it's creamy and delicious. So they start marketing it, and it becomes the world's most popular dessert. And it's of course alive.
It turns out, it's an alien parasite life form that eats you from the inside, turns into zombies.
And it's got Michael Moriarty, who is the most compulsively watchable actor you can possibly have in a movie like that. Between that and Q the Winged Serpent, I could watch him all day.
I'm going to have to go with Killer Tomatoes just because of the word killer. It's scary. The other one's kind of mysterious. I wouldn't know until later on if I've been eaten from the inside out. So I'm going to go with Killer Tomatoes.
I'm going to go with the stuff just because a tomato is technically a fruit.
Right, that's true.
To me, that seems kind of fruity.
Killer tomato. So you can put the word killer in front of anything. It could be a killer flower. It could be a killer stuffed animal.
That's
it's
true.
It's going to kill you. Don't you understand?
That's true. That's a good qualifier. That's a good point.
And I'm going to agree with Josh because killer tomatoes have acid and it'll burn you.
Well, also here's the other part of it.
And have reflux.
Here's the other part of it. Killer Tomatoes, multiple sequels, including a sequel starring, many sequels starring John Astin, also a sequel starring Skippy Handelman, and a sequel starring George Clooney. There was no sequel to the stuff. Yes, he was in Revenge of the Killer Tomatoes. All right. So we're sticking with How Unicorn Are You? Okay. This is kind of an inside one, and I apologize in advance for this, guys. More annoying anthropomorphic character, Stripes Jackson or Howard the Duck?
Stripes Jackson.
Come on! Why do you hate Stripes Jackson so much? Why are you so against him?
Howard the Duck had a god-awful movie, I'll give you that.
Yes.
But
one of the worst films ever.
But the comics were great. The comics that it was based on, terrific.
But Stripes Jackson is a cool alley cat, a cool wisecracking alley cat, anthropomorphic, totally kicks ass, lots of fun, makes movies with Woody Harrelson. I mean,
Howard the Duck ran for president.
But Howard the Duck had no pants.
Ducks don't need pants. Daffy, Donald.
Right, ducks don't wear pants.
Sorry.
That's true.
It prevents them from shaking their tail feathers.
That's right.
And actually, Howard did have pants.
He did have little pants on. That's true. He did. He did. All right. Okay. More likely. Sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Please. Should we turn this into the Howard the Duck discussion?
Perhaps we should.
My fault for bringing it up. Oh my God! All right.
Leah Thompson with giant 80s hair.
That's true. That's true. Well, and there's the most frightening part of Howard the Duck. Who the hell thought, you know what this movie needs? A love scene between an anthropomorphic duck and Leah Thompson.
And Marty McFly's mom.
Ew.
Ew. You know what's funny? I saw a picture of Leah Thompson in Entertainment Weekly like a week or so ago.
She looks exactly like.
She looks exactly like Marty McFly's mom.
It's perfect. All right.
She looks just like her old age makeup and the other. It's a shame.
All right. So I still maintain, Doc Brown, you're a jackass. You should have told Marty McFly he was going to get Parkinson's disease.
Oh.
That should have been the sequel. He should have taken him to the future to get some stem cell research done, man. That would have been. That would have been a lot more fun. All right. I still like my alternate ending of Michael J. Fox fading to obscurity as Doc Brown puts the moves on his teenage mom. I still think that's the best way to go. Do you notice how Michael J. Fox always has a role in the best joke on How Unicorn Are You? It happens. Okay. So we did a whole thing about Alex P. King killing a hooker. Yeah. Love that movie. Okay. More likely, How Unicorn Are You? More likely to win a Kumite-style grudge match, Centaur or Unicorn? Think about this one now.
A centaur is half man, half horse,
yes.
right?
Correct, yes.
And I'm going to have to go with Centaur just because of that Saturday Night Live sketch with Christopher Walken.
I of course, have to disagree with you because I will point out that centaurs can't do certain things unicorns can. For example, a centaur.
Radio show?
That's right. A centaur can't host. There's no centaur radio show. There's not. But okay, centaurs can't climb things like trees or poles or ropes.
Why? They have opposable thumbs. You don't.
That big horse body, they can't pull that up with a little human upper body. That'll never work. They can't wipe their own centaur butts without the Augbesian. To call back to your your little skit there. So there's a company that manufactures centaur ass wipers. Okay, little bonus walking for everyone there. Okay, you trust me, unicorns. Okay, centaurs, they don't know how to use firearms. We do. It's simple. It's easy. Okay. All right. I'd rather be buried to the neck in sand and left alone during high tide, or
sounds like we're going to do our Leslie Neilsen thing here.
That's right. Or this will all tie in. Or forced to be intimate for one night with Streisand.
Does it end the same way as it did for Leslie Nielsen?
Well, I don't know.
In other words, is there a mercy killing?
I don't know. I don't know. I think I said that you would be wiser to drink a can of paint than to try to have sex with Barbara Streisand. I maintain that.
Bottle of Everclear before Streisand, or
you'd have to. You know what? You'd have to drink a bottle of moonshine laced with moonshine.
Yeah.
I think that's how that would go.
I'm gonna go with that. I kind of find her sexy, I guess.
Oh my God.
Just to say that I did it. The Jewish
wow.
people love me.
That's true.
The Jewish women will come up flocking.
You would be.
I mean, she's rich.
You'd become rabbi of the world.
She's like butter.
She's wealthy. That's for sure. She is wealthy, and she knows how to direct, so she could get a good performance out of you. That's for sure. All right. Okay. celebrity more likely to land a plane in an emergency situation, Robert Hayes or Kenan Thompson?
Robert Hayes.
I will keep in mind, I'll remind you that Kenan Thompson did this while there were snakes formerly on that plane.
That's true.
Wait, Kenan Thompson.
Yeah, but Kenan and Kel.
Yeah, he landed the plane with snakes on a plane, yeah.
Good Burger, that's kind
And
of a
Good Burger,
Yep.
I mean, he's got that experience.
And of course,
he's
he's DeAndre Cole, which
Can
is.
he fit in the pilot seat though?
Well, yeah, he landed the plane on snake. He landed the plane on snakes on a
He's done
plane.
it before, he could do it again.
Okay.
So can Robert
So
Hayes.
Robert Hayes has
And he
two.
won't spend all that time asking what's up with that.
That's true. All right. Okay. Okay. More appropriate job for a teenage werewolf. More appropriate job for a werewolf.
Okay.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be teenage
Doesn't have to
werewolf.
be teenage werewolf.
Be any werewolf.
Could be
Middle-aged werewolf.
yeah, it could be any age because if it's a teen wolf, it's only one job that really applies here.
All right.
Okay, so my mistake. Thanks for calling me out on that one. Ruin the joke. More appropriate job for a werewolf: high school basketball player or place kicker for a professional football team.
Ooh.
Could go with the basketball just to bring it back to Michael J. Fox.
That's right, J. Fox. He did it.
See, he's always in it. But I gotta say, now I think if you were to put a werewolf on a professional football team as a place kicker, that things could get very interesting.
What was the sport of choice in Teen Wolf 2? I don't know. Was it boxing?
I don't think it was. I don't remember if it was boxing. I don't think I even watched Teen Wolf 2 long enough to figure out what he was in college to play.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was boxing.
I think it was basketball, wasn't it? Wasn't it basketball?
That was the first one. I'm pretty sure it was boxing.
I think it was still basketball, wasn't it?
Go with the winning formula.
If you have any idea what the sport was in Teen Wolf 2, wow, there's something I never thought I'd find myself saying.
Explain to us why you know what the sport was in Teen Wolf
347-326-9700 or Twitter.com at Frank the Unicorn.
If a dog did it in Airbud, then why can't a werewolf do it with a basketball?
But I'll tell you what, I'm going to go with werewolf place kicker, especially on a full moon. Because why not? Just like an 89-yard field.
There you go. All right, and someone gets a vote for Unicorn because you can't play ring toss with a centaur.
Never play leapfrog with a unicorn.
I guess if the centaur is laying on his back and happy, maybe you can.
Oh.
All right. It's a horse down there, man. What do you want from me? Come on. All right. Yeah, there goes the rest of our listeners. Okay. I would rather now this one is close to my heart, okay, and I want you all to think very hard about this answer, okay? All right. And if you don't understand part of this question, I will gladly explain what this is. I may have to explain what this item is just for the listeners at home in case they're not familiar. Okay. I would rather spend a Thanksgiving eating a traditional meal with every tacky turkey and pilgrim-related accessory that you can think of, or
Turducken coming, isn't there?
or macking on a turducken at a unicorn's house.
Don't know if I trust the turducken.
Turducken, by the way, for listeners who don't know, if anyone doesn't know, is where you take a chicken, you debone the chicken. You take a duck, you debone the duck. Take a turkey and you debone the turkey. You take the chicken, you stuff it in the duck. You take the duck with the chicken in it and stuff it in the turkey, and you cook the whole thing for about 15 hours.
You can deep fry them now too.
Well, no, you got to slow cook a turducken. I wouldn't. I'm not in favor of deep frying turkeys.
That sounds to me like you're actively asking salmonella to come to your
Yeah,
house.
right. It's like a Russian doll inside of a Russian doll of salmonella. I would go with the first one.
You would go. Wow.
It's like a Russian nesting doll of E. coli.
It would, let's just ask if anybody's interested in eating turducken with a unicorn. 347-326-9700. Wow, my in-laws win on this one. I gotta say, I thought I could maybe use that one to.
In theory, I like the idea of a turducken. It sounds delicious until you get to the point where you realize it's going to kill you.
Wow. Okay.
Why don't you throw in the bacon in there, the gravy bacon too, while you're at it?
Well, now you just found a way to make a turducken better, my friend.
There you go.
You can, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Joey Sexton just invented the bacon-wrapped turducken, the greatest food known to man.
Oh yeah.
You now own that. That is now in perpetuity. That is now in history. That is fantastic. I think you need to. All right.
I just love the word perpetuity.
Perpetuity. All right. Much better than eschew. Okay. Better superhero ability.
Okay.
We ask about superhero abilities a lot. Better superhero ability, the power of flight, or some sweet Wolverine-style claws.
Oh, I got to go with power of flight, hands down. Who's never dreamed of flying, but really who's dreamed of having gigantic claws come out of your hands?
I mean, you want claws to have a fork and go on your way.
I mean, you'll probably get rheumatoid arthritis from this too.
But I mean,
ooh, you can scratch somebody.
Ooh, that's
well, I mean, you cut them in half. I mean, they're Wolverine claws. They're adamantium. You
can do that with a Ginsu.
But think of all the money you'll save on airfare alone, especially during a holiday.
Well, and gas. I mean, you don't have to ever, you just conceivably could fly anywhere.
And what girl wouldn't want to, have sex with you while you're flying? I mean, that's something I never. Mile High Club.
Pretty good.
Portia de Rossi. She's the only one who wouldn't.
Pretty good pickup line. Gotta say. All right, there's a clear winner on that one. Okay. All right. More enjoyable post Halloween activity: making pie from leftover pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns, or dipping into Junior's trick-or-treat candy bag for the goodies you wanted but were secretly too cheap to purchase.
Please tell me that's not code for something.
No, it's not. It's not code for anything.
The second one's just too long anyway.
No, I like dipping into Junior's candy. Not in the Catholic schoolboy way. No.
The pumpkins have already been smashed and
destroyed. They're gross.
Yeah.
You can always buy pumpkins.
Deep in your tonsils, ask, why stop at poultry? Are there any other 3 meats we could all stuff together and bake? Why, yes, there are. I mean, really, if you think about it,
that's definitely code for something.
Oh God.
You could stuff a brisket with sausage and wrap it in bacon, I guess. That might work.
Some roast beef in there somewhere.
Some roast beef, right? You could wrap a steak in another steak, and then wrap that in bacon.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all kinds of things you could do.
Some Philly cheesesteak on top of a hamburger by.
Oh, I'm getting hungry.
Well, they do that. That's not.
It's so good.
Yeah, I don't know. All right. Now here's the next one. Now this one's a bit of a series. Now, series of just running gags. Okay, you guys can comment on these, but because it is November and Thanksgiving is approaching. My favorite aspect of Thanksgiving is just the story of Thanksgiving. The Indian that sort of helped to inspire Thanksgiving, bring it all about. You know this. I do these jokes every year. SQUANTO. When you have the name SQUANTO, it's funny. It's a funny name. Thank you. It's a funny name. It's a funny name, but it lends itself to comedy. And I love to tell every year at Thanksgiving, I make up a whole batch of new SQUANTO jokes. And now, as part of How Unicorn Are You?
Can I producer real quick? I'm so sorry.
Yes. You get to pick your favorite SQUANTO related joke. Now, 347-326-9700. Oh, we got a call coming in.
All right.
Let's take this call. Caller, you're on the horn.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really. Who's this?
Why did we make that up?
It's Stephanie.
Stephanie. All right, listen, Stephanie, you've got to help us out. You're going to help us pick your favorite SQUANTO-related joke, okay?
Oh, that doesn't help me. I don't know SQUANTO very well.
No, that's okay. It's all about the humor here.
Can none of us really say we know SQUANTO very well?
None of us really know SQUANTO. Dude's been dead for like 400 years. Okay.
True.
SQUANTO-related joke. This is for everybody now. Here we go. First one. What does SQUANTO eat for breakfast?
What? What does SQUANTO eat for breakfast?
SQUANToast.
That was pretty easy.
Hold on.
And they
what?
laugh and encourage.
And they're okay. What? Hold on.
I'm so sorry.
We're not done. What award did SQUANTO win for outstanding actor? A SQUANTO.
What?
Squantoni. All right. What does SQUANTO help use to count to 20? His SQUANTos.
Oh.
SQUANTos.
Those are so cheesy.
Well, that's the point. What form of you're listening to a Unicorn radio program? Okay. What form of government is SQUANTO opposed to? Squantotalitarianism. Okay. All right. SQUANTO's. What is SQUANTO's favorite candy? SQUANToblerone. Squantoblerone.
Squantoblerone.
Squantoblerone.
You have a whole month of this.
That's right. This is going to be every week. All right. What
is it really?
Possibly.
Can I quit the show?
Depending on how many of these I can write.
If I retire.
Squanto's favorite actor?
Squantoni.
Who?
Squantoni Danza.
No.
There you go. He's the boss. All right. And last but not least, multiple choice. What is Squanto's favorite band? Is it Squantoed, the Wet Sprocket? Is it Squantoni, Tony?
Yeah.
Or is it Squantoto?
SQUANTO.
SQUANTO, all right. SQUANTO.
Yay!
Rain down in Africa, and he's in love with Rosanna Arquette. Okay. So now, which of those is the favorite SQUANTO-related joke? Stephanie, which of those is your favorite SQUANTO-related joke?
I don't know.
They weren't that funny. I mean, you got to have that's the thing. Favorite of mine.
The favorite actor.
Okay, I'm supposed to ask you what you do for a living.
Why?
Because Joey just leaned over and said, sorry, Josh just leaned over and said, hey man, ask what she does for a living. So therefore, hey man, what do you do for a living?
I record vocal actors.
There you go.
She does it all.
So she does. Okay, so there you go. You do the Foley stuff. That's awesome. So here's
I would love to do Foley.
Stephanie, just do me a favor. Just pretend one of those SQUANTO jokes was funny and pick one of them.
The actor joke.
SQUANTO Danza?
Yes.
Over SQUANTO.
It's really the only thing I remember. No, the candy. Never. I'm going with the candy. SQUANTO.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stephanie, here's what I want you to do. I want you to send us a direct message on Twitter. You just got yourself tickets to the movie Burlesque, sneak preview, Thursday, November 18th,
Sweet.
7:30 p.m. I'm getting addicted to all this applause. I'm not used to having this sort of positive feedback.
Next week we're gonna have a laugh track.
We might.
Can you record a laugh track for us?
We don't want.
I can make a laugh track.
All right, we'll see about that.
Just as well as it did on the first episode.
It will, yeah. Maybe we can bring in the Great Kazoo and do Winston cigarette commercials while we're at it. All right.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Right, okay. Stephanie, thank you so much. I appreciate you playing How Unicorn Are You? And like I said, send us a direct message on Twitter. We're going to get you those tickets, and we'll see you at the movie.
All right. Well, I just also, can I give a shout-out to the Cookie Maven and the Smash Brothers?
Of course. I was going to ask you if you had anything you wanted to throw out there.
I love all you guys. The Cookie Maven makes the most delicious freaking cookies and pastries ever thought of. And the Smash Brothers, you guys already know that you guys rock, but I wish you guys the best, and I want to see you guys be successful. So.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephanie. We appreciate it.
It's going to happen, Stephanie.
Hey, I've been backing them up for a while now, so I'm all in favor.
That's what's up.
Awesome.
We gotta hang out soon.
We appreciate that. SQUANTO. Thank you. That's great.
SQUANTO.
It happens.
It was nicely done.
It spreads. All right. Stephanie, thank you very much. Send us a direct message on Twitter, and we will get you those tickets. We appreciate it. Have a great night.
All right. Sounds good.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Bye.
What's SQUANTO's favorite character from The Wizard of Oz?
Would that be SQUANTO? Would it be SQUANTO? Right. Okay.
That's right.
All right. See, I told you, SQUANTO jokes are a good thing. They work. They work. Okay.
Unless you live with them.
Well, in that case, they're never ending.
As I can tell from the look on the producer's face.
Okay. All right. First of all, I think the band Tony, just happy to have a reference at all. Someone remembers us from the 90s? Yes. One person.
Now they know what it's like if they have no lyrics.
Right. Unfortunately for them, the one person that remembers them, a guy who claims to be a unicorn and has a radio show. So, all right.
Hey, listen, the Cookie Maven likes him too.
The Tony?
Would you love me if I had no...
To sing along, that's copyrighted material. We can't go there. Okay.
So we can't talk about the New Jack Swing?
We can, and how it never rains in Southern California. But we're going to get back to our How Unicorn Are You segment, and we're going to ask the question, more fun to have at dinner, Leslie Neilsen thinking he's shooting a scene, or a drunk pilgrim with a loaded musket?
Ooh. Leslie Neilsen, because you're not going to have a chance of getting murdered. That's true. On Thanksgiving.
That's true. Okay, I would agree with that. Although there would be hilarity would ensue with Leslie Neilsen.
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans. Okay.
I would love to see a pilgrim, though.
Classic. That would be cool too. Classic Thanksgiving side dish that needs to be retired: nasty green bean casserole or weird Jell-O mold containing unidentifiable fruit pieces.
The Jell-O's gotta go.
It really does.
Can we all agree? Because you can't put deep fried onions on top of Jell-O mold and make it edible, right?
Right.
Unless it was bacon Jell-O.
Or no, Bill Cosby says
Turducken.
Yeah, I think if there were bacon Jell-O, there'd be vomit on the turducken. That's true. All right. That's a new Mellencamp album he's got coming out. Vomit on the Turducken. It's all about farmers. Okay. More disappointing aspect. This is really more for the sports fans.
All right.
We don't ask a lot of sport. We don't talk about sports at all. This is a somewhat sports-related question. More disappointing aspect of Thanksgiving, although I will say this, the infamous Thanksgiving game where Leon Lett stupidly touched the ball and let the Dolphins win the game. Yeah. I remember watching that at your house. I was with the Beans watching that live with the Beans, and we were screaming, "What the F are you doing?" And you don't even watch football, and you knew he shouldn't touch that damn ball.
I did know that.
You were yelling at him, "No, stop, you fool." That's how bad.
I said you fool.
I think you did.
I might have.
Something, anyway. You may have called him a turducken. It's possible. No? Okay. More disappointing aspect of Thanksgiving you can nonetheless count on to disappoint you. Astonishing decline in the quality and actual entertainment value of the Thanksgiving Day parades and commentators, or the fact that the sucky Lions play in the only game on TV at that time.
The Lions suck every year. I always say the same thing. Why are they even in the Thanksgiving Bowl, whatever it is?
The thing is, they keep drafting receiver after receiver after receiver. Maybe they should go for a different position. It's just a thought.
Maybe a quarterback. I don't know.
They take the historically worst team in the entire league, put them on the game that everyone's going to watch, because even if you don't watch football, you watch it on Thanksgiving because, right, exactly, and then you get to watch, and it's essentially like watching a high school team try to play against pros. It's really fun. I mean,
maybe that's why they do it, so the people who aren't into football can kind of see the underdog.
You could have a Thanksgiving drinking game based on how many points the Lions give up before halftime.
How many fumbles and interceptions?
How many?
Right?
Yeah, how many turnovers?
I like
right.
how they put the Dennis Miller on that. By the way.
Yeah. Now here's there you go. I missed it. Dennis Miller on Monday Night Football was just hilarious. Just hilarious. Partially because they had Eric Dickerson on, and Eric Dickerson was so absolutely stupid. Well, yeah, I think, Dennis, that the team that scores the most points stands a real good chance of winning this game.
How it is, man.
Yeah, that's brilliant insight there, ED. Appreciate that. That has nothing to do with all the concussions you got while you were playing, my God. I'm listening to you. I want to make like I'm Edith Piaf over here. Fly away like a sparrow. Okay? I'm doing the Sylvia Plath thing, baby. I got my head inside of an oven.
Really?
Turn it on, Gifford.
Kind of doing a Catherine Hepburn.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. All right.
That's a pretty good impression.
Fact. I apologize in advance. I know you guys are from Jersey. I know one of you actually applied to be on Jersey Shore in Miami. I gotta do this. Fact. Since the departure of the cast of the Jersey Shore, Florida no longer leads the nation in cases of STDs.
Yay!
However, based on the gubernatorial election results, Florida remains the stupidest state.
Oh. Yeah.
All right, and our final "How Unicorn Are You?" It's just a fact. It's just a fact. Fact. The cure for all diseases is Steven Seagal. Scientists are currently developing a Seagal-based super vaccine that, when injected, will find the infection or foreign antibodies and remove them by breaking their arms and throwing them out the window.
That is in fact true because Magic Johnson's been using Seagal for years. So.
There you go. Steven Seagal is the cure for everything. You're just giving me the look. Why you just?
Because you just drooled all over yourself.
He loves Seagal. He loves him.
I didn't want to be the one to say it. But
I was spitting. I got a little excited. I got a little excited on that one. Little bit. I was excited. I mean, we got to discuss the sucky Lions. How can you not? Hashtag sucky Lions. That's a great. No, they did not. They lost in overtime.
I'm not from Jersey. I was actually born in Detroit, but I did try out for Jersey Shore. But you're right, though. I'm from Detroit.
Even he doesn't want to see the Lions.
Yeah. Either way, it's
Detroit native, not a fan of the Lions. No one likes them. No one likes them. All right. We've got only about 2 minutes left. We just ripped through this whole show.
So we shortchanged Leslie Neilsen.
We totally shortchanged Leslie Neilsen, but let's discuss. When I said we're going to talk about Leslie Neilsen, your response was, everybody knows who Leslie Neilsen is. I responded and said, but do you know him as a bad guy in the sci-fi movies? Because he got his career start playing the heavy.
Yeah.
And your response was, because it was hilarious.
I don't remember what the response was, but that I've been a fan ever since he buried Ted Danson up to his neck in the sand in Creepshow. And then that time he raped Barbra Streisand. Which, if you've never seen the movie Nuts, it's...
Wait, so he had sex with Barbra Streisand?
He sure did. Well, he tried to, but then she killed him.
Oh. It's not rape if you yell surprise first. Then it's
That's true.
Then it's just surprise sex.
Well said. I hope our lawyers are listening.
Drink Everclear before or not? We got it.
Right, he drank moonshine laced with moonshine.
But he's standing there. I mean,
$150.
picture, if you will, Leslie Neilsen wearing nothing but the most horrifyingly tight pair of briefs you've ever seen, and putting the moves on Barbara Streisand so aggressively that she murders him.
And folks, this is how we're going to leave it for next week because we only have a minute left. So we're going to leave you with that final thought. We're going to say thank you to everyone who contacted us on Twitter. We're going to thank the Cookie Maven for coming in, giving us cookies. Check her out online. Check her out on Twitter. I want to thank Josh and Joey, the Smash Brothers, for coming in. We did a couple of great songs. Butterface, I'm a Jew. We want you to check out the podcast. We're going to put some bonus material on the end of this one on the podcast for on the archive. And you've got the show coming up December 2nd, right? We want people to check that out. We'll put the links up when we get a venue finalized on that one. We'll get the links online. We want to thank you guys for being here as well. And thank everybody for listening. Thank our lovely producer. And, of course, thanks to Deep in Your Tonsils, Robot Embassy, all the people who were hitting us up on Twitter. We want to thank the South Florida Social Geeks for providing us with the great tickets and the giveaways. And
I love that you keep holding up the tickets every time you talk about it.
I just love having to reference. We're going to probably give away a couple more of these next week as well. So thank you all for the calls. Thank you all for the love. And, that's going to do it for this week on the Frank the Unicorn radio program. Beans, you got anything left?
Nothing but goodbye.
Nothing but goodbye. Anybody?
Cookie Maven, at the Cookie Maven on Twitter. Get some cookie baskets for the holidays, guys.
And check me out, Josh Fox 420 on YouTube.com.
And Joey Sexton on Facebook.
Awesome. All right. And then you guys check us out online as well, franktheunicorn.com. We've got our YouTube channel set up. We'll get some content on there. We'll see you next week, Sunday from 7 to 9 p.m. Frank the Unicorn radio program is done.
Bye,